Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Banks. Tuesday, back in the saddle. How you feeling, bro?
Hey, I'm feeling great. See it.
I got you.
Got it. Yeah, I am feeling amazing, man. We've had some pretty wild last few weeks. A lot of eventful things going on here at NATO on the Levee. A lot going on in my personal life with my personal entities as Beyond the Stage and as a concert promoter. So there's a lot going on in general, and I'm here for it, man. I like the challenge. I like getting over the hurdles, everything that comes with doing, the career path, the passion path that I have chosen. So I enjoy the challenge, but but with the challenges come, the peaks and the moments of where you just got to sit back and just embrace what you've put yourself through, and then the outcome as it exists. And I'm feeling great. I mean, I got to do an interview with Levi Bitton from Miss May I, a metal band out of Dayton, Ohio. They've really shown their worth in the metalcore to rock scenes, because they're definitely metal, but they definitely bridge that crowd that would listen to like a WBN meets Warped Tour and whatever. But Levi Benton, an incredible human. He's not only talented, but he's well spoken. He's really thoughtful and intentional, and I was very very grateful to be able to sit down with him for about 20 minutes at Madison Theater for my newly launched box office interviews out of Madison Theater. So
yeah, and that's dope too, man. Obviously you being tied into Madison Theater like you are, being able to have these opportunities when not only your local talents that come there, but Madison Theater brings in people from all over the nation. So being able to tie yourself into it, where it's so smart, because Big Frank's over here, he's booking the artist, or whoever's booking the artist anyways, and then they're in town. And it's like you've got this talent of being able to interview people, and then you got Mike Heffron that knows how to film and get capture everything.
Yeah, with Jake as well. So Jake and Mike came as a package deal for that. So all their equipment, 6Fi, which is their media company. So huge shout out to 6Fi. Just Mike and Jake, they just know how to make. They know how to make not only you feel comfortable, but they make you feel and make you look like you could be on the highest level of any talent. You know what I mean? Like when you're in that room, they are bringing out the big dogs.
For sure.
With like the equipment and how they carry themselves, and even the mics, the lapel mics that was inside my shirt. You couldn't even tell I had a microphone. You even said it yourself. Where's the microphone? Which was under my white shirt with a black microphone. They made it super nice, and they made it super smooth. And Mike is a partner with Beyond the Stage, so he's definitely got some
stake in it.
Yeah, he does. But even beyond that, the whole interview went so smoothly. They got the whole room set up. I was able to kind of mingle and set the stage with Levi and the rest of the guys, because they were all gonna. They were it was a hometown show, so Levi's family was there. Everyone was like, he said, at 6 o'clock we're gonna have a room full of people in the screen room, so we really need to get this going before then. So we launched in about 4 p.m. at that day, but it was 20 minutes total time of take away from his group, about 30 minutes of time that he had set aside. But I think it was a really great interview. We got to talk about dad life, because he's a dad now. He's obviously toured for 10, 15 years now, and he's got kids now. His wife takes care of JoJo takes care of the kids while he's not able to be with them, and then he brings them on tour with him sometimes. They were on stage. They're little, so they don't really fully, I think, understand the gravity of what they're, they're stepping on a stage in front of 1,000 people every night, where, he brought them on stage for our show. Like, they were on there and they were cheering along, these little kids, and like Levi and the whole metal band with the light show. Miss May I, if you've never had an opportunity to see them, they're definitely worth a watch. Yeah. They put on the light show, they put on all the theatrics, and that's what he was saying, is they're going to be less about it being a metal band and making the pits go hard, but putting on a theatrical event. When you come in, you're going to talk about it, because they put on quite a show, man. Like they did. They really. I was impressed.
I mean, it's that's smart. There's something to it when, Levi's been out of the game as long as he has, and he still has that crowd that he can bring in whenever he does a concert. Yeah. And that's a testament to who he is. When I got a chance to meet him through you, he matches your energy. You know what I mean? So like if you're, what's up, dude? It's fucking big fan. Great to meet you. Like he matches that right away. Like it's not like he doesn't have that like put on the sunglasses and turn his head feel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's too cool. He's too cool for school. You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly. And I was actually going to get into that too. Levi makes you feel so welcome. And yeah, he was coming into our world. I mean, I'm obviously at Madison Theater a lot more than he is. But he's been there for some shows. He was familiar with the culture. But he comes into the world that we've kind of set the stage for, and he sits down with me, and we just start to chop it up about, like I kind of initiated with it, like our connection from when I was in Ocean Grid, and I was kind of, uncertain about the name because it wasn't even my name originally. It was someone else's Xbox tag. So I wasn't even certain on it. I had a few names that I had in the wing, but we needed to play some shows and get some experience with our crew at the time. And he comes to an early show, like the third show ever. But he had heard about us through the grapevine because once you hit the music scene, everyone starts to talk. Right. Is this band good or are they not? And we were off of a couple shows. We had already built a little reputation. It made its way to him, and he had a clothing store in Clifton. So he was down the street. He popped in, and at that point, I was like, well, he came in for Ocean Grid, and I was like, well, I guess that's our name. I mean, if Levi Benton is coming in to support us, It would make no sense for us to abandon that name. So I marketed it as OG, and we went from there. But Levi literally just walking in that room solidified a band's name.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? It is dope. And I even mentioned that in the interview, and I'm appreciative of him entirely. And he talked about some crazy stories on tour, like they got shot at. Like that's wild. That he even, someone. I hope it opens a case.
Where can where can somebody see the interview?
Yeah, so Beyond the Stage YouTube, Beyond the Stage Live YouTube. It'll be the first video you pop up when you type in Beyond the Stage. It'll have Levi right there in the as the image, and you'll be able to see it right there, just right on YouTube, and also of course on the social media. Beyond the Stage Live. We'll have links for everything and all of our interviews. So any of the live performances are all on YouTube as well. We cover as much as we can with live music. And we're going to close out this year pretty strongly. I do think we're going to have a pivot on November. I'm going to try to dedicate November to not only the sponsors, but this box office interviews. I think that's how I'm going to play November, get through Thanksgiving, and then prepare for December, and then go to 2025, because 2025, we're going to hit the ground running with, I got some other plans, man. I'm excited to interview as many, iconic people as possible.
Yeah. All right, man. And speaking of interviewing and podcasts and whatnot, we've got Matthew and Tyler here from the Bro-Hemians podcast. And
let's go.
We've met each other a couple times. You guys popped in the store before, and you guys happened to be here yesterday when the hats got here, bro. Like, the hats, they were on the counter. We just got them out. We were just putting the tags on them. And they were like, bro, I hope these are going to be here by Friday, because that's when we get paid. And I was like, yeah, well, there's only 50 of them. They're all numbered. And once they heard that, the numbered thing, they're like, all right, man, we're going to have to go for it. And I'm like, all right, if you're going to go for it, bro, like, we're going to have to give you number one, since you're, the first one buying it here.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so then, like, one came into two, and then his buddy was like, I need to get the third. So it's like we got Tyler.
I wish I was here to see that.
Yeah, Tyler and Matthew. Did you get number one and number two?
Yeah. So I have number one. We were able to take the tag off without,
Yeah, bro. Smart with it. Let's go.
So yeah, he'd show me. I didn't even know you could do that, because I don't usually take tags off. I usually just cut them off. But I have one. He has two, and our buddy Tanner, who's the other co-host for our podcast, he has three.
Dope, man. And so what do you guys talk about on your podcast? Obviously, Bro-Hemian is probably like a lot of just the day-to-day shit that you guys go through. But is there a premise to it, or is it just like how did the whole thing come about?
Well, at first it was me and another friend that do a lot of YouTube stuff. Me and him were gonna start a podcast once. Like podcasts started like going were the craze and everything. But me and him had a falling out. There's no really hard feelings between me to him, but then
it's tough, bro. It's tough. Like we've had numerous co-hosts. We have numerous producers. You know, it's only a dream until it starts making money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when you go through these things where it's like, you know, I had a buddy that I was doing it with, and things just went to the wayside. It's like, you know, there's a lot of factors that come into running a podcast. Like for the first 2 seasons when I was running our podcast, I was running it out of my store in Dayton, Kentucky. So like this was back when Native was only 400 square feet, and like I owned the building, and like I would be happy if I made $35 in one day. Like that's how slow the store was. But you know, I did the podcast on Wednesday nights down there, and it was there was a moment where like even my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, but I lived upstairs, and she would come down, like it'd be 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. She's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like it's time to come upstairs. And like I had to tell her, like, look, I understand that you think this is just like fun time with my buddies, but like there's a long, you know, there's a long play here that we're trying to get a hold of. And you know, you got to have this content. This is episode 243 now. You know what I mean? So we've been doing it a long time, and most podcasts end up failing after the third because people don't feel like they got their recognition, or it's like nobody's watching, so why am I doing this? And it's like, bro, we did 200 of them before people started watching. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like you just got to go out there and you got to do it. You got to do it, and you just have to do it like people are watching, because they eventually will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I've been watching this podcast. It wasn't long when I watched them, but when I started watching them, I went all the way back to the first episode and watched like a marathon all the way up until I was back on like their time.
Oh yeah.
And so that's why I try to like keep it where if people go back once we do blow up or anything, or like people watch one episode and they can go back, I make it to where like people are watching that episode in real time. And so we try to incorporate, like after every episode we tell like our fans to comment something, and when we start getting comments, that'll be cool, and we'll start seeing like people go back and watch those. So yeah, I try to keep it to where people are able to like at least go back and see the progression and everything.
For sure, man.
People love growth. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, when you first are starting, people like to be there in the beginning, and then there's times when they'll fall off, and then when you pop up with your 25th or 20th podcast, they're like, oh, these guys are still doing it. Oh, let me check that out. And then that's when you'll find people go back and watch the previous ones, because they'll be like, I watched the first couple, seeing them do it. It wasn't necessarily what I was looking for, but now I see them all, you know, on their 20th, 30th podcast, because they haven't given up. All right, I'll support them, because like you never know. You might see someone that starts in the beginning and all of a sudden they fall off, and before you know it, they're circling back around, and you're like, oh, I see you. You're back around.
Yeah.
And I've had it happen personally in my own life. Like I'm doing stuff like making. When I first started my show at Beyond the Stage, like I was talking about, I mean, we've done 14 actual events, like physical events where people come and watch live music, and it's an interview all in one package. And people even told me, like, that's awfully ambitious. That's a lot to take on. And I'm like, oh, give me a chance. So when I got through the first 6, people are like, all right, this guy is actually making some moves. And then we got through 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of them. And now people are kind of anticipating when the next one's coming. They're literally asking, like, when's your next date? When's the next event? And I'm like, just wait, we'll announce it. And then they get excited. So like at one time people are like, oh, that's a lot. That's an ambitious move. I don't see success. It's going to be everyone's putting shows on. Whatever. And then I'm like, well, it's a little different. And then once they recognize that, then they start asking about the next one before the next one's even announced.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling to see the people doubt, and then full circle, they're like, now they're anticipating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just that is, and there's something to it. I mean, it's just a good feeling to know that you've withstand the pressures of people doubting you, because there's a pressure to that. You know what I mean? There's pressures that you can't do this, you can't be successful. Like, we haven't done that, so you can't. Like, you know, there's always the naysayers. There's people that are afraid to take the risks that you're taking. You know, you take the risk by purchasing the equipment, putting aside the time when you could be further in it with maybe a girlfriend, or further in it in your, you know, streaming if you're a gamer or whatever the case may be. But you put the time in to talk about your craft, and you're doing a service to people that aren't even doing that. So you're also giving people a level of inspiration when you pop out there and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm just the guy in this. I'm playing this game. This is what we should do when we're playing Call of Duty, or, you know, when we're doing Minecraft. Like, this is how we navigate it, and let's talk about it. Before you know, you'll have all these people that are jumping on like, hey, I relate to that guy, and you have a little fan club, if you will pop up, and then before you know it, you've got followers that are subscribing, and they're maybe even to the point where they're starting to personally message you and ask to be on your podcast with you.
Yeah.
So then when you get to that point, that's pretty cool. When people are like reaching out and like, hey, I want to be on your podcast. I do my own. Can we collab? That's super cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you know, that's I think that's one of the highest compliments you can get. If someone
You know,
asks, you know.
and speaking of, man, like, you know, the reason why you guys are on the podcast today is because, you know, I've met you guys before, and I like how you know, handle yourselves. You guys are very, like, well spoken, and so, like, we had an open spot on the podcast tonight, and you guys were here, and I leaned over to Andrew and I was like, yeah, let's interview these guys. You know what I mean? Because this is something where you know, like, YouTube University is where I learned all of this. Like, I went to school for radio and television, but that was fucking a lifetime ago, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like, the products that we have now, they didn't teach me. Like it was the end of the reel to reel era. And which is funny, because I went to NKU for radio and television, and the Ohio, the same company that Yam goes to, they started, like, calling my work when I worked at Brio, just over here at the Levee, and they started, like, I was just a server, bro, and they're calling my work while I'm working as a server, and they're like, why are you going to NKU over us? And it's like, I'm in the middle of
a shift,
bro.
Right,
like,
it's nothing to do with school right now.
Yeah, like this like you can literally call anybody on the planet, but don't call a server and chastise me about why I chose one school over the other. But to his advantage, when I went to NKU, they had a reel to reel, and it's like, why are you teaching me reel to reel when this is going to be obsolete in fucking 30 days? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But
Yeah.
So this was all YouTube University, man. Like, everything that I taught myself, it was basically just, you know, buying one piece of equipment and then replacing it when I got better, or when we got more. You know, it started with the 2-channel, and then it went to the 8. Started with 2 cameras, then it went to 5. Started with 1 mic, then it went to 5. You know, so it's like there's levels to it, man. And I love being able to tell people, like, when they come in and they're like, you know, I want to start a podcast, right? And like, you know, the people that are watching now, I'm sure some of them want to as well. How long ago did you guys start the podcast? And what was because you guys are doing video already, which is incredible. You know, the fact that you guys are doing video, because a lot of people do just the audio because it's easier to do. They're scared of being, you know, on camera. They don't, you know, whatever the social media is gonna, you know, you put stuff out there, bro, and people are like, oh, nice eye patch, pirate. And it's like, you have to have you have to have thick skin to put the shit out there. So, you know, when you guys start the podcast and you're already doing video, I think that's incredible, man, because you guys are willing to put yourselves out there. And I heard you guys talking earlier about your setup, right? Is there one piece of like background display that you guys are like, it needs to be here, and if it's not, like, it's not going to look right.
So for me personally, well, I'll answer your first question. So I kind of joined the podcast.
Yeah, sorry,
later.
it was multiple questions.
No
in there.
worries. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, we kind of that happens with us as well. Like,
Yeah.
we ask one question or we bring up one idea,
Yeah.
we kind of just band off. But yeah, no, I kind of joined later because I'm the tech guy. You know, I was big into YouTube back when like Vanoss Gaming was trending every other day. I used to love gaming videos. You know, I'm a big tech guy, so. Yeah, like right now, like one thing we need is right now we have a bunch of like Marvel stuff because you know he was the guy who founded it. He's a big Marvel guy, and you know right now we just got an anime figure because him and I we love anime. Right now, I would love to get something that kind of incorporates each of us separately, and then get one thing that all three of us love together.
Yep.
That'd be one really cool thing to get because like Tanner doesn't like he doesn't hate anime, but he's not the biggest fan of anime.
Yeah.
We got the same relationship over here. You know, Tyrell's big into anime, Andrew's big into Pokemon, and obviously like the age gap is there because it's, you know, I'm exactly 8 years.
Yeah.
So older than Andrew, and Andrew's
8 years older.
8 years older than Tyrell. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, the generation gap is definitely there. You know what I mean? But it's, you know, I don't understand anime and I don't understand Pokemon like everybody else does. But goddamn, bro, like, you know, even if you don't understand that realm, like you've got to figure it out. You know what I mean? Because there are so many people that come in, and you know the display case over there is basically like where our anime stuff is, and you know like we search out Funkos and stuff. Well, we used to, like, Funkos are kind of on the
There's definitely a downswing
for sure.
Yeah, it's
But-
not like it's like U2's now. That's like the big ones, like that company that does it works like YouTubers and big companies now. It's like more high quality than Funko. I know that's been on the big rise as of recent.
So did you just say that they're doing YouTubers?
Yeah, it's U2's.
Yeah, I've seen U2s. They're
Yeah.
like smaller, like little dot eyes instead of like the bigger
yeah,
eyes.
and they had like the smile and stuff like that. Yeah, no, they started out just doing YouTubers, and then
No
now
shit.
they're doing like SpongeBob. They're doing like anime like Attack on Titan. Yeah, they've been doing crazy stuff. Like we just went today and they had a bunch of anime. They had SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs. They had a bunch of stuff, and they just started out doing like big time YouTubers that were really big back in like 2018.
That's crazy. That's so smart though.
That is
Like
smart.
that, like how Funko started, man. So like, it was crazy because I was super high one day and I was like, holy shit, bro. Like, what if Funko, like Freddy Funko is their main character, right? and I was baked out of my mind, and I was, because I'm always thinking legalities on trademarks and the whole nine, right? Because we pedal the line on a lot of the stuff. So like when I was sitting there, I was like, holy shit, bro! Like what if all these characters are just Freddy Funko wearing the Batman outfit? Would that like negate the legality, because it's Freddy Funko, but he's wearing the Batman
He's
mask. disguised as, you know? And so like when I started thinking that way, like all of a sudden I started thinking about how much value is probably in like the Freddy Funkos over the M&Ms and all these other things, right? And it's
But it's in their likeness, right?
oh,
So-
for sure, bro. Like they're like you couldn't. There's something about trademark issues where even if like likeliness, it would be impossible to put Bobby Mackey's, but use the McDonald's M for Mackey, because that is so relatable that people will know, oh shit, that's a Bobby Mackey McDonald's collaboration.
Yeah, instantly.
Yeah. So like, you know, but just thinking that way, it was like, holy shit, dude. Like that's probably how the company started out, was they had Freddy Funko and Bones, Bone Daddy. Bone Daddy was one of their first like big sellers. It was a bobblehead. I had it in my fucking PT Cruiser, bro. I had a maroon PT Cruiser when those came out. And Bone Daddy had like a maroon zoot suit. And so I just glued them to the dashboard of my shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, but thinking about it now, it's like it sounds exactly like U2's, which is U2's.
Yeah, it's U and then TOOZ.
Yeah. Which is basically like let's push the boundary early on, right? Let's just let's do this where legalities are kind of in the gray line, and now that they've got this whole swing, now they can do the other characters and all that shit.
Yeah, they can expand. I mean, they can expand because they're. I mean, obviously they've got a blueprint. The U2's got a blueprint from Funko, so
For
they
sure.
just got to just do a cooler version so it doesn't seem. I mean,
Saturated.
Saturated.
I mean, because
yeah.
that's the problem with Funko right now is that like they've just saturated the market. Like they know which ones are going to sell well, and so they mass produce them, and then they're not. You can still go to conventions and get like the rare.
Like the Batman,
Chase.
there's like 20 Batmans or something.
Well, like
that.
they got different versions where like you can find one that's just like it's got like glitter on it, and that's a chase version. It's like this is kind of just it's identical to baseball cards, bro. Like how baseball cards they got the refractors now. Like you can get a purple refractor, orange refractor, green refractor. Same thing. Like they're just it's genius, honestly. Like imagine if we can just take one of these hats and just spray glitter glue on it.
Yep.
And just say one of these hats is going to be limited edition. You're going to get a refractor hat.
One of these is signed by somebody.
Yeah. Hey, Wednesday. I think they're going to be here, bro. I think the Bengals hats will be here tomorrow afternoon.
I think so too.
Yeah. It's they left. Okay. So for yeah. So for you guys work for DHL as well. So
Yes.
so you know the like routing and shit, which is crazy, dude. Like these hats were made in Baoding, China, and which is just outside of damn, where is it? All right, I got to look up the whole tracking now, dude. But they went from China to South Korea. Once they got to South Korea, these hats that you guys have, they went from South Korea to Alaska, Alaska to California, California to Memphis, Tennessee, Tennessee to Erlanger to here. And then the other batch that was shipped at the same time went to Hawaii. It just got shipped to Hawaii for some reason. So that's the reason why those hats are 3 days or 4 days behind the other. But it's crazy, bro. Like the way that let's see, copy.
So that sounds about right for DHL.
Yeah, so that was FedEx, man. Which is crazy because it. Oh.
I mean, not necessarily.
Now they're in Greenwood, Indiana. Where the fuck is Greenwood, Indiana?
Well, from Indianapolis to Greenwood,
No.
so no Indianapolis. Just
No,
Greenwood.
they went from Baoding, China to Beijing,
Okay.
Beijing to South Korea, South Korea to Honolulu, Honolulu to Oakland, Oakland to Indy to Greenwood.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Indy to Greenwood, yeah.
So
How
we
far,
might.
How
we,
far is that from?
I don't. It doesn't sound close. I don't think we're going
It
to get
doesn't
tomorrow.
sound close.
If they would have been delivered to Independence by tonight,
Why can't they get to Independence by the morning and then...
because all the trucks leave around 7 a.m.
So it's probably Thursday.
Yeah. I know, man. I know.
It's one fallen Thursday.
It is what it is, bro. At least they're getting here. It's not like the skateboards.
Oh, the
Skateboards were stolen, bro. Our first batch of skateboards were stolen in China. Like we tracked it to the actual guy that got them in China, and they disappeared after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. I couldn't believe the skateboards that... I mean, they said that they burned them, was what we were told.
Mm-hmm.
No, someone resold that. Sold that shit. They literally took our cool skateboards and they put them on the side of the road and sold them on a stand somewhere in, another country. I cannot think that they would actually burn those skateboards. But the ones we have now, the band boards, I think it's a much cooler story. So I like that story more.
Yeah, and that was a risk too because we were like,
was
you
a
know what,
risk.
I'm not taking that logo off. Like if they don't make it, they don't make it.
Yeah.
So,
But the band logo is cool.
oh, I love it, bro. I love it. It's perfect.
Yeah. We've almost ran out of the boards. We're getting down to the final
12. I think
Yeah.
I counted 12 left.
yeah, not a lot.
Which is crazy because there's a, you know, I only know of one hollow that was
Holographic,
that
yeah.
was ripped open.
I've watched someone open a gold one right here.
Yeah, I've seen more silver than gold, but definitely
Me too.
I've only seen one holographic board, which is we only have 5 of them, but only one has been open. So I was telling Tyrell like there's like 4 boards over there. Like how crazy would that be if 3 of those were hollows, and those
Oh,
are the
yeah.
ones that were just left over from
That
people
would be
picking.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, we ran 50 boards. That was it. We did 25 white native boards, 10 silver, 10 gold, and then 5 holographic, and all of them are already boxed up, so you don't know which one you get until you open it up. And they're all numbered too, so which is the coolest part. So if you get a hollow board, it'll say 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5. If you get a white board, it'll be 5 out of 25 or whatever. But you don't know which board you get until you open it. And it's like that's our big thing is like how do we get our shit on StockX, bro? How do we get to the point where like it's worth more than what you paid for it? Mm-hmm. And that's it's like how do you do that? How do you become represent? How do you become the next Supreme without like the notoriety of what these brands already have? It's like, and there's so many brands that are trying to come up the pipeline right now. It's like, who's next? And
I was gonna say, get in with the right people, get in with the right influencers.
Yeah.
Social media, bro. Social
Find the
media.
right-
At the end of the
Find
day,
the people that want to push it.
So like one thing I learned, Zoomies, like they wanted the mad scientist stuff. Like they even said like they said at the time they were like, look, Ed Hardy and Von Dutch, like they're gone. And there's no clothing brand that's been able to fill that gap. Mm. And they're like, we really think that the mad scientist stuff really has that Von Dutch, Ed Hardy, like, that filler that you can do. And but they wanted online presence, and it's like, well, the mad scientist thing's hidden, right? Like the native brand is the popular one, and you can see our Facebook page, but the mad scientist is hidden behind it. And they were like, so you don't have any followers for the mad scientist? Like, we have followers, but we don't have any physical followers because it's a hidden brand.
Yeah.
They're like, you need followers. And it's like, but we can shoot a commercial to show how cool the store is, to show that like that the lab is like super exclusive, and this is why people want it. Didn't matter. It's at the end of the day, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
And they want 40,000 followers on Instagram because that resonates to dollars, dude.
Yeah.
Which is it's totally understandable. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can't fake it. Like you can buy 1 million followers, but
It just sits there.
it's just going to sit there, and you're not going to sell any product. You know what I mean? It's got to be organic, and honestly, it makes complete sense. If I was on their side of the table, I would do the same thing. Like once social media gets a hold of what you guys are doing, then we'll listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I started out doing YouTube videos, and the reason I started out was because I followed this really, like, he started out as a hidden gem. He never had a real job. He went around the world, I want to say 5 times, and he's been in 3 bands. He's never had a real job. And so he was a gymnast, and when
You got Andrew's attention. he's already trying to guess who it is.
I'm just listening. Continue.
So when the bands fell off, like because he even told me, he was like, yeah, I just had to leave the bands. It wasn't really good on like me, and so I started doing like social media. He started on Instagram and TikTok, and that was when like TikTok really was starting. I think he did like a couple videos, and then one video blew up. It was him just stacking chairs, or standing on chairs and going to the next, and just doing that, and that one just blew up no one knows why. He was like, I wasn't expecting that one to blow up, but awesome. And then he got recognized by other content creators out in LA. And once that all happened, he moved out there. They disbanded. They're still friends, but he ran a contest, and the contest was like, buy merch, every $5 is one entry. I spent $370 on that one drop. I got flown out there. It was me and my cousin, and so while we were there, we filmed a video, and he showed, like, once we were done filming, he showed me everything to do. Like, he showed me how to edit. He showed me how to, like, do all these, like, cool tricks with Final Cut Pro. And so...
Damn, bro, $357 well spent, right?
Well spent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good call, dude.
Yeah,
I
nice.
never knew how much you spent. You never told me that.
Yeah, I spent a lot. But he taught me, like, video stuff, which helped me in the long run with me starting out doing YouTube, and, like, now it's helping us do the podcast. But he also taught me, like, flips and stuff, because I do, like, self-taught gymnastics. It's like whatever I can.
So does he, bro.
You?
I did a little bit. Yeah. Continue. Yeah, that's interesting.
And like everything that I really have done or have learned, like on my social medias, you can see like me doing like random stuff. Most of it I've taught myself. My backflip on flat ground, I had to have one guy spot me, and that was the only thing I've ever had help with. And really how I teach myself is like I go on TikTok or YouTube, and I'm already on the gymnastics page, so I'm just like scrolling, seeing people do random stuff, and I just like try to vision myself doing that. And then when I go to like a gym or a trampoline park or something, I just work and work and work, because until I get it perfectly, then I'm probably not gonna get it at all.
Yeah.
Keep it.
So standing back tuck is gotcha.
Yeah, it was a hard one. I kept landing on my head. Which
Yeah,
was bad.
standing back tuck is a tough one. That's one that I actually hurt myself doing that the last time I did one of those. But yeah, I definitely grew up in the parkour gymnastics kind of world. Like run up at a wall, do a backflip. I've done thousands of those. Just grew up, being the athletic type, just trying to, flip off of any bench I could, any park bench, whether it's a picnic bench, anything, like at NKU or at UK or wherever I was going to school at the time, just flipping off stuff and just being, I learned at 13, like how to actually do like legit, like using the obstacles as part of the trick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was one place that so where you would land was about a driveway that went down, so like a half a story.
Okay.
But you'd run and you'd flip off the wall and you'd push off it and you'd land one floor below.
Push off it with your hands?
No, feet.
With your feet?
Run, do the flip, and then when you backflip, you land one floor below.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. Those lights.
Oh shit! I didn't realize it turned off. Yeah, that's my blind side.
All right. But yeah, so like growing up doing those different stunts and stuff,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of really talented people that ran like parkour camps.
Yeah.
And they like usually there's a whole community of people that would just like come in at different levels, and they could all do stuff. There was guys that would like competed in like those tag tournaments and stuff like that. Like
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, man.
Are you talking about the people that run Swift Movement down in Cincy?
You know who Swift Movement is? That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I went to UC,
Yeah.
and any day that I didn't have class or like on the weekends, I would walk from my dorm, and it'd be like 10 miles. I would walk from my dorm to Swift Movement and just walk in and train with them. Because like we did a video, we did Among Us in Real Life. It never got posted because I lost all of the
Oh, really?
Oh damn,
footage.
dude.
I
Man.
lost all the footage, and we
Oh.
filmed it all on our phone.
Okay. How'd you lose that? Hey,
I don't know. I don't really know. I
Yeah.
had a guy editing for me.
okay.
And so we all collectively sent him the footage, and then it just like we thought he had it, so we all deleted the footage off our phone, so we had storage for other stuff, and then it just never got edited. He said he never found it ever again. Like, it got lost somewhere.
In emails.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's weird.
But since we did that
Yeah.
video with them, I would go up there and he'd be like, "Oh, hey," like we knew each other on a first name basis, and so I would come in. They'd help me with like tricks that I'd want to learn. So at UC, there's these commons where people would like sit, or like it's kind of like stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's a sidewalk between those like seats, and between the seats and a little grass patch. So I wanted to try to run on the stairs, do a flip off of them onto the grass patch, but there's only like a short like path that I had to take. I had to take one single stair, or I would go onto concrete on any other stair.
Yeah.
And I went to Swift Movement, set up these like blocks, like padded blocks, and I just keep working and working and working. I never fully did the stunt at the
Location,
at UC,
yeah.
but I was able to get like the distance, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, when you start at something and you actually get to land it through the process, that's such a cool feeling. I just remember the first time I like started practicing like wall flips from one level to another level.
Mhm.
We practiced on a trampoline off a tree.
Yeah.
So we pushed the trampoline up to the side of the tree, and then you jump on it. And I would wear my actual shoes so it didn't scrape my foot up. But like on a trampoline, it like gives you so much momentum, and then you put the 2 feet, and then I'd flip off it down to the floor, which was only maybe about 4 feet off the ground, but the drop from where we were doing it was like 8 feet, so it was 6 to 8 feet, so it was like a hefty little drop. But when you can brace yourself and roll, because once you learn how to roll and learn how to land properly,
Oh, yeah.
that's everything. It's really what I've been growing up doing, mixed martial arts and stuff like that.
Okay.
At a young age, I got a black belt in Taekwondo and just different things that I was active in, and then joined the wrestling team and all these other stuff that taught me how to fall properly, taught me how to maneuver my body, body weight, shifting, and just make sure you're doing it safely changes the game for you, because when you're actually in the process of doing stuff on concrete and hard surfaces, and I mean, even grass can be hard. That floor, I mean, the grass is not much of a, it won't break your fall.
No.
It won't. It will hurt, and you will, I mean, if you land on your heels fully, you can mess up your foot for the foreseeable future, and you're like, now you're out, even if it's a heel injury, you know what I mean? So, but all respect to trying to do the flip thing, man. That's cool, because it's not easy, and it takes some guts, you know?
I do have a video I can show you later.
Cool.
When I went to California, they stacked 11 trampolines on top of each other.
Okay.
shit.
It was guesstimated like 40 feet, probably like 33, just rounding up a little bit. And I jumped off of it, off the top, into an 8-foot pool.
33 feet into an 8-foot pool. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everybody was like cheering me on, and they were like, "Just do it for the vlog." My cousin was there, and he was like, "Quit being a little pussy. Go and
Just
do it."
jump off that 33-foot,
Yeah.
3-story tall
It was scary.
into an 8-foot pool, and hopefully you don't belly flop.
Well, they taught us how to like brace ourselves so
Sure,
we
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
hit the bottom.
Appreciate you guys.
Do you go feet first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was terrifying.
I bet it was.
I had to to get up there. There's no like ladder or stairs or elevator or anything.
Yeah.
You had to scale the side of it, and that was.
And how
nerve-
sturdy were these trampolines attached to each other?
They were held up by like, I want to say, exhaust pipe ties.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So they were all put in place by just metal zip ties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopes and prayers.
Hopes and prayers, literally. Good luck.
I got up to the top, and the owner of the house came out and was like, "You signed the waiver, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, you're good. Jump." I was like, "Wait a second. There's no more questioning."
He's not worried about anything. You signed the waiver. Your
Yeah.
your life was out of his hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the. I mean, that's what's scary about stuff like that. But it's also thrilling too.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like there's nothing more thrilling than jumping from a high distance on the ground. Like we used to climb up like schools or different like all through Florence, Kentucky is where we kind of hung out. And there was one time we climbed on top of this back of this salon that was on 42, and like I shouldn't be saying this. So they climbed the back of this salon, and because there was like this bush that was hiding this like this unit, and when you could get on the unit, and then there was like one of 3-step ladder that was kind of within height if you had a little bit of jump. Well, we had a little bit of jump, and so we jumped up and grabbed it, climbed on top of it, and scaled the building and jumped off the building. And the cops showed up, and they never caught us. We bolted to the neighborhood next door, but that was the thing, is like that, like there was a time and a place where just doing stuff like that is fun. I won't go.
Hey, everybody wave at this.
Right.
He's gone. That kid over there.
I thought that was one of your tricks.
Right? Yeah.
He always tries to give me. Like, he knows I look over when he's waving at someone because I want to be a part of the people that are. I'll be like mid sentence and he'll like start waving at someone like he just saw the president.
Yeah, but
You'd be like,
he'll stop the convo. He'll just.
I look over and he's like, "Why do you stop the convo?" I'm like, "Well, you're pointing at the president. I don't know who
Yeah.
you're talking to."
I have like bad paranoia, so I see like people walking through the mirror box that you have over here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like somebody's like walking right here. So
They're
I,
walking
like,
right
look
behind
over.
you.
I've got that same thing, man. I can't sit with my back to the door of a restaurant.
Oh yeah.
And like it's not like I don't know. I guess it's hereditary because like my dad had that same thing, but like
Me too, though.
I'm I mean I could sit with my back to the door, but I'm gonna be doing this the whole time, bro.
Yeah.
And my wife's not gonna be happy, so she knows. Like as soon as we get to a restaurant, she's like, "That's my seat."
Yeah, you sit.
Yeah,
I mean, I want to see the door always.
always.
Always. I don't care where I'm at. If it's a corner spot, I want to be able to see the whole room. I'd rather them put us in the far corner and I can.
You know,
see
I got to sit at Al Capone's booth over at this place called the Green Mill. It was it's a bar in Chicago. It used to be owned by Al Capone.
Oh, that's cool.
So like if you watch a bunch of like Vince who's the fucking the comedian actor? Vince Vaughn.
Vince
If you
Vaughn?
watch Vince Vaughn movies, he uses the Green Mill a lot in those in his movies. But like Al Capone's booth, it had a perfect view of the front door, and it had a perfect V-line shot to the behind the bar that had basically like one of those cellar doors that dropped into basically all the bars in Chicago. There's tunnels underneath the city that for bootlegging that they could go to all the different bars and bootleg that way. They can distribute their beer underground.
And he could probably run away too.
Run away. So that was his thing. Was his booth was right here where he got a perfect shot at the front door, and then like a beeline shot to fucking escape if it was the feds that were coming in.
How intimidating would it be to go into his bar and as soon as you walk in, you know he scoped you out?
Oh, if he saw you right there, because dude, it'd be so intimidating.
Because every person who comes in, he's like, "Who's that person?"
It's such a long
That
walk
person's
to
not
the
getting out
to the
here
booth
alive.
too. It's probably like a good 30 or 40 feet from the front door, but it's a perfect shot. Like he definitely was like, "This is my spot. This is my like."
Yeah. This
Boom,
is my-
boom. I'm
yeah.
gone.
This is my throne amongst men.
Yeah.
It's like when you walk in there and like if he decides that this guy is skep, pull you to the back, no one sees you again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like that's terrifying. You just be chosen, lucky number 7.
Capone, bro. Let's go.
Or even like, it's like you walk in, you don't even know like where you're at. You're like, oh, I want to get some food. He's gonna be like, something about this guy. Don't like keep your eye on him. It's just like I'm just trying to get some food, man.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do. Like I'm not a part of the mafia. I ain't part of nothing like that. I just want something to eat.
Right.
Like he's like you guys watch him. It's like, I mean, it makes sense. He's always walking. Because he might be like, I don't like that guy. Don't like that guy. Don't know him. Like him. Don't like it. So it's like you don't know who's gonna be walking through.
Yeah,
you don't
and
know.
I'm
You're
sure
selective.
I'm sure he's got those bouncers too that he's just looking over like, just does one of these. All of a sudden he's
Yeah.
like, you gotta go.
Gotta go. Gotta go or you're gonna get
Boss man said so. Who's the boss man? Can't tell you.
right. He's over there in plain sight.
Yeah. All right, man. I want to get back to this podcast thing, bro, because I want to like one of the reasons why I want to get you guys on is because I wanted to pick your brain on like how long you've been doing the podcast. What are you guys missing? You know, what can you do to make it better? What do you think you've done to make it better? What can you cut off that is just like, you know, because for us, like we call it trimming the fat, right? Like we got a piece of steak and it's got fat all over it, but you want to trim that fat out and just have this nice piece of steak to eat. And for us, like the main one of the main things that we have an issue with is the long podcast, like the 3-4 hour podcast that we do. Like we're not Joe Rogan, we're not interviewing fucking Donald Trump, so it's like we don't have 4 hours of content that somebody's going to sit there and listen to. You know what I mean? Like we got great 30-minute segments or 15-minute segments, but a 3-hour podcast, people get drained out, especially if we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we need to pump back on is let's trim the fat and let's put out a 45-minute podcast that just has bangers instead of a 3-hour podcast that has 2 hours of me and Andrew fucking fluffing each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like what have you guys done or seen on your end that like, hey, this works, or like, bro, we got to stop doing this. This isn't working.
So I think right now, a big thing for us is the mics. So right now, he got some like really cheap mics off of Temu. So we're kind of looking at that as like the one big thing we need right now, as well as a PC. Those are the big things we need right now, because right now we're just like, his brother just built a new PC, so we're kind of mooching off that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, right now it's just like, I think things that we're doing good right now is I think swapping me and Tanner out as co-hosts every once in a while. Because like sometimes midway through the podcast, I'm like, oh, you know, I want to be on for this segment, or Tanner wants to be on for this segment, so we'll do like a quick swap out, which I think is good because like I'll be back here and you can like barely hear me.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to do that because it's like, you know, maybe I'm well versed in the topic, or maybe it's like sports. Oh, you know, I know sports, but you know, Tanner's really good with sports.
Yeah.
That's his thing. We'll swap out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something big. That's a good thing I think that we have started doing recently.
Okay. Yeah, the you know, when it comes down to like delegating time and stuff, man, you know, it's
a process.
It's a process, but with the mic issue, you know, there's other ways. You know, you don't have to necessarily like. Are you guys doing video from the phone, or is it like an actual webcam tied into a computer?
It's like a camcorder that we have plugged in with like a micro USB to the computer.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty much like a vlogging camera.
It's got a capture card that dumps all the footage right into the computer.
And the screen pops up so you can actually see yourself. That's how we really see ourselves when we're doing the podcast, and how we can like get it right. But that tiny little screen on a little tiny camera is not good.
Ideal, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So when you guys are running the podcast, are you have 3 people, but 2 only on camera at one time, is what you're basically saying?
Yes.
So you have to switch it out based on strengths and based on knowledge and however the flow's going. So do you know this switch is coming, or is it like the conversation kind of shifts and you're like, all right, Tanner,
tapping out,
you're in, because
it's like WWE's like I'm worn out.
Knocks them in, and all of a sudden you guys jumping in and refreshing the kind of podcast that with the direction that's going at the time.
It's more so right now where it's like oh, podcast, it's like starting to kind of drift into a different direction. It's like, all right, we'll swap out real quick. Like we'll be like, all right, Tanner, you're in, Matt, you're in. Do a quick swap. Like right now, I have a webcam at home, so we want to hook a webcam on the monitor so I can be there as well.
Yeah.
And as well as give myself a mic. But again, I think we want to worry about the main mics right now in the PC before sort of implementing a whole other webcam and a whole other microphone into the equation.
For sure.
Put yourself in like a little square.
Yeah, like a little webcam.
You know what I mean? Like just literally just a square that you're in the corner and tapping in, and all of a sudden you come into the conversation, bring it in, and then we'll talk to you later, drop you out, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Are you guys using like XLRs to plug into one of these, or is it just like mini jacks? Like
I think it's An XLR? I think it's what it is.
To be honest, I have no idea. I'm not a tech guy.
Yeah.
I just see, like, what I do as I look at what I want, like, look at what is working good, and try to match that with what I look at the store,
For sure.
and that's how I shop.
Yeah,
for
it's
stuff.
not. Yeah,
That's cool.
It's not the like the 3.5 millimeter jacks that are on like old headphones.
Right.
know? It's like the longer ones. I don't know like what those ones
It's
exactly are called.
it's probably an XLR.
Yeah.
These are XLRs here. They're like the female versions that plug in.
Yeah.
You're talking about an actual like mic jack, like
Yes,
not the mini one, but
Yeah.
like the red one that's plugging in right here.
Yeah.
And you guys got it going into like a soundboard just like this, like
Yeah,
smaller version.
We got one from Walmart for like $50.
Yeah.
But like it was good because we were using like a really cheap one beforehand, right?
Yeah, it was the one that came with the microphones. I have like 3 now, but they were cool for like the added sound effects. But when it comes down to like wanting to do a podcast and wanting to talk more than you want sound effects, because we don't use sound effects. If we use sound effects, then I just edit it in to the video and to the audio and whatever. But yeah, we traded that off to a little bit nicer mixer, because it's just like a streaming mixer that we got from Walmart, like you said, which, to be honest, I think that's mainly the problem with the feedback of the microphones, but the microphones still do need some work on them.
Yeah, so there's 2 types of microphones too. There's the ones that we've got, and then there's like the condenser version, which it kind of sounds more like it's like in a tin can.
Yeah.
This has great sound. The Behringer soundboard that we have, I bought this off of Amazon for like under $300. It's an 8-channel, so we can plug a lot of mics into it. But for the people watching, like, you can get great products at Walmart. Like even though you think that might be the issue, more than likely it's probably the microphones that just don't have that bass or that quality that you're looking for. But when it comes to Walmart, bro, like any brand would die to get their clothing or electronics into Walmart, because even though they're only like, you're only making about 10% over what you paid for everything, like it's such on a mass scale that they're going to pick the best products for the best price, and they're going to put it in the store. They're not going to put something on there that's not going to work, right? So doing things like this, like we've got a 2-channel that only holds 2 microphones. It doesn't need to be plugged into a wall at all. It can take the power right off the like a MacBook or whatever. But that works great too, man. These Audio Technique microphones, I think I told you guys, I think I paid under $40 each for these mics, and I went and bought those Shure mics, those ones that every time you see a high-end podcast, they've got that block of a mic that's sitting there. I bought 2 of them and didn't hear any difference between these $40 mics and those $400 mics. So I returned those 2 $400 mics, and I doubled up on our 4K webcams, because it's like I'm trying to boost the quality of the next season, and it's like it'd be cool to have Shure mics sitting here because it looks good and it looks like we're professional. But at the end of the day, bro, like, what's going to make us look professional is better quality.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's why we went with the Brio 4K webcams over the microphones, because of the fact that you can get great products for a decent price. I bought these Audio Techniques from Guitar Center. What's that place over in Florence? Is it Guitar Center? Is that the name of it?
Yeah, Guitar Center is
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's where I got these mics. And if you go there and if they're not busy, bro, just pick the dude's brain. Just tell him what you're trying to do and what you want to do. And they've got so much stuff there. Like, there's even a Taz cam that I've got. It's a little portable thing where you don't even have to have microphones hooked up to it. It's got a little It's got a shoe mount, so you can set it right there in the middle of the table, and it just pulls sound from like within 4 feet. So like, and it's Dolby Digital too. So it's the left microphone, the right microphone. It's got everything involved, where we don't have to wear headphones. Like Bert Kreischer was big on it, because like back when he was trying to do all these podcasts, he would pull out the Tascam and just put it on the table, and while he's having conversations with all of his buddies, because like we've learned that a long time ago, that a lot of the times the best conversations happen 20 minutes before the podcast starts. So like I usually tap out. Like I can't even listen. I've got to walk away, because we've got to use all this energy when the cameras are rolling. But the 20 or 30 minutes before the podcast, that's where everyone is. They're loose. They're not worried about the cameras. They're not worried about people watching, and that's where you get the best material. So he always had that Tascam. It was 4 AA batteries, bro. Just set it on the counter, little micro SD card, and you can capture all the quality. You can be in BW3s, put it on the table, and you won't hear anybody else other than who's sitting at the table. It's crazy. It's expensive, but it's something that you go to Guitar Center and you say, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. If I'm trying to do a mobile podcast, that might be something that they're steering you towards is a Tascam. There's multiple, there's other brands that do it, and I'm sure you can find some on Temu or like even Marketplace.
Yeah, I think the idea of having a mobile podcast really goes a long way. It might be something you guys really should consider down the line, because the topics don't change, the location changes, and where you can put yourself in different doors and different rooms where it makes all the difference. We did a podcast over on the levee here at Amador, and a big part of the fact that we were able to do that podcast is it was great because Mike Waltman was able to let us set up on one of the tables. They brought us food for it's a Cuban restaurant, so they brought us some Cuban food. We were able to sit down with the aesthetic of the restaurant right there, and we were able to sound clear. We had a camera. We were able to do a full podcast, interview Michael. The whole thing went super smooth, and we still post the podcast on our TVs in our store, even though it's not our aesthetic, because we have the podcast running on the TVs above my head and over by the register. So like we definitely have the podcast running at all times, so people know what we do, because they come into the store and they're like, what's that recording station you have up there? I'm like, what's a podcast station? It's on the stage. You can take photos, whatever, but don't step on the stage, because people always want to try to sit in the chairs and or the couch. It's a whole thing. But it creates these conversations I never thought was going to happen. I knew conversations would happen because we've done the podcast at the previous store, but when they come in here, people will look at the podcast, will beeline straight from the door to the register just to ask me or whoever's behind the register, Jay or Tyrell, ask us what the podcast is about. They won't care about the clothing. They won't care about the hats. They won't care about anything but the podcast, because people want to have their voice heard. Everyone deserves to be heard. We all live in a world where it's we live in an egocentric world. We live in a world where everyone's focused on themselves. Everyone's the main character of their story. Everyone is the guy or the girl, or they're always the one, or they're the chosen one, or whatever. Everyone wants to tell their story. And we have a platform, quite literally a platform. You can step on the stage, and you guys are sitting here now. But we built it to promote the store and be able to fill a night of the week with some valuable information that we can talk about our brand and, navigating the brand and building the brand is kind of what we call it. But people will literally, will see it in the window, and they'll run. They'll run. They'll be like, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's the podcast? Is that a podcast? Can I podcast? I'm like, whoa.
So slow down for a second here.
I literally, okay, man. Hello, I'm Andrew. I do host the podcast. We go live every Tuesday night, 7 to 10 p.m. roughly. And we interview up-and-coming artists, local business owners, local influencers. We've had Bengals players on. We've had all sorts of different people on the podcast. So I'll explain that to them, and then they slow their roll. They're like, oh, okay. Now I understand. So how do I get on?
Yeah.
And then I tell them, kind of go through the Instagram, send us a message with what they do, and we'll go from there. But it's just the conversations that I get because this is where it sits. It's really changed my like dynamic into what I see, how I view the store. Because I used to view the store as, yeah, we have the podcast and we love doing it with the homies and interviewing people. And we had Greg Hamilton on, Santino had been on, Lantana, all these guys Matt Waters had been on the podcast. And I was like, that's a place for us to connect with artists. And then as time went by, it was a way for the people to connect with us.
Yeah.
It kind of bridged me thinking it's going to be a way for us to connect with artists and build our network. It allows people to come in from the outside and connect with a person at the register. And since we're such a small group of people, there's only 3 people that run the hours of the store.
Yeah.
And only 2 of them are regulars on the podcast. We host it, Jay and myself. They get to talk to legit the people running the podcast because they want to be heard. So they get to go straight to the creators,
Yep.
if you will. And I love that. I think that's one of the coolest things, a part of the store. And it was intentional, obviously, with the podcast on the window, but the conversations I wasn't expecting at all. I really wasn't. I knew people would be curious, but I didn't think I've formed friendships from people just seeing the podcast and coming in and sparking up conversation. I have friends now that I regularly hang out with because I met them because they asked about the podcast. And I think that's you can't really place a value on that kind of thing because, you know, that's my biggest takeaway. I thought it was going to be a connector from the artist to us as creators, but it's connecting the people to to other people, to the creators. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's very cool. I love that. Yeah.
That's one thing I really like about a lot of like content creators is like, you know, you may have like 1,000 followers on like YouTube or something like that, and you're like, you know, I want to know to get better. So people will like message like bigger YouTubers and be like, I need your opinion on this. And I love when like people will act like bigger YouTubers, like people are like, oh, I feel like I'm wasting my time messaging them. They're not gonna mess back, and they message back and they're like, hey, I like what you do. Here's some things that may help in the future. I think that's very important information. So I also feel like just talking to people that have maybe like, because you guys are definitely like have a bigger following than us, and being here now, it's an amazing opportunity because we're learning from you guys.
Oh yeah.
And like learning from like a smaller YouTuber talking to a bigger YouTuber, you know, it gets them that like fire within them. Like, I can be this person. I can be that for other people, and maybe I can influence other people to make content create as well. That's one thing I love about like the online space, that you can have people that can influence each other no matter how big or how small you are.
Yeah, man, and that's what we do here too, man. Is you know, when it comes to clothing brands, like if somebody's coming in here and says, "Oh, I want to start a clothing brand," it's like, you know, I've been in situations where I've asked people for their advice or their help, and they've literally responded with, "Oh, you want the recipe to Coca-Cola, don't you?" And it's like, you know, well, yeah, bro. Like I would like to know
thirsty,
the next steps. And the response was, "You're not getting the recipe to Coca-Cola." And it's like, okay, that's fine, but you know, I'm not that person, dude. I'm not that one that's gonna hide that recipe for people. When people come in and when they say, you know, well, you know, how'd you start this, or like how do you do a clothing brand, or how do you do the podcast? It's like I give you everything. Like, not only do I give you everything, I typically give you my contact info and say, hey, if you have questions on podcast equipment, or if you have questions on creating your own clothing brand, hit me up and I'll help you out, right? Because like the way that I look at the situation is like the reason why I wanted to get you guys on here is so that you guys can see everything that's on here and then go home and go, we need this. We don't need that. I didn't like what they did here, but I like what they did there. Like, let's implement that and let's use that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an open book for anybody who wants to come in and learn, because I'm confident in what we do, right? Like, I understand that in 5 years this is going to be on another level. So if I can give people the recipe to Coca-Cola, it's your own interpretation on how you're going to create that product, right? And if you guys get so good that you guys are doing better than I am, then I've got to put my irons back in the fire, and I've got to do something, right? Because I'm an innovator. I'm the guy that's on YouTube learning things every day. So if somebody gets better than me, more power to you, bro. Like I love the fact that you're doing well. Now I'm just gonna have to figure out how to get back in the grind and get those wheels moving where I'm at least on your level. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And there's there's moments of people that are gonna say, oh, I didn't like the podcast, and we were talking about this earlier. People that always want to put their own 2 cents in, like when you create a product, and they're like, you should do this or you should do that, and it's like, why can't you just like what I put out? Yeah. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like I understand that if you want to change it and critique it so bad, then start your own podcast and do what you want to do.
Yeah, the naysayers, man.
Yeah, but that's just people's mentality. Like they might not look. Hey, yeah, you can turn a wave at that one. There was 3 people walking up to AMC that just stopped and turned around. Look, there you go. Yeah, the best part, bro. We're in a fishbowl right here.
We are in a fishbowl. We're
like literally,
watched.
and that's the thing that we learned too, man. Is like people don't need to hear our voice. They can just stand on the other side and go, holy shit, that's cool. Yeah. And then they look in and they see everything. They see all the all the cameras and the microphones and
little figures everywhere.
It's like, man, I want to do this, right? And so they come in here and they go, what do you guys do here? It's like we interview business owners, NFL players, companies. If you got an event going on, and right away, I want to be interviewed, or my buddy, like you guys should interview him. And it opens up friendships, like Andrew was talking about, bro. Because like any clothing store wouldn't allocate 150 square feet of glass to a podcast. They would want product in there, right? Yeah. And that's how Kenwood Mall is. Kenwood Mall, they wanted product in the window. They didn't want our podcast in the window. But the Levy, they were like, they not only did they give us a thumbs up, but they built the stage. Which by the way, I did a phenomenal job on this.
Yeah.
A phenomenal. All of this piping was from the original store that was actually built out to hold all the clothes. And so when we built this out, I was like, look, I don't want to go and build. I don't want to go and buy all this stuff again because this shit's expensive. Let's take it apart. Let's figure out how to build a cage.
It's a nice size,
bro. Like I was looking, like when I sat back down, like even these little things right here, like to set out for our
the little hooks.
Come on, I'm in here, bro.
You are here.
But it's just it's a game, bro, and you can either play it or you can
swallow it up.
Like you were saying earlier when you were talking about the Beyond the Stage and you were talking about like it's not always a win. It's like it's not always a loss. It's a learning. It's a W or an L. It's either a win or a learning experience.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm learning a lot every month. I'm starting to learn something different, but I've gotten good.
Pivot.
I've gotten good at pivoting on it, dude. I've got a whole game plan. If the game plan doesn't work out, then I have a backup to that backup. So at this point, I'm so confident in what could happen next. I'm not worried about if the other idea falls flat. I'm not even worried about it. I really
keep one foot planted and be able to move that other foot and be able to pass the ball to Heffron or somebody else. And that's really key when it comes to like trying to run a business is like, Andrew Listerman was the one that told me, like, you got to learn to pivot. You got to keep that one foot planted and take that other foot and renegotiate your view. You know what I mean? Because it's crucial, bro. Like there are so many times that you plateau, especially even in the podcast business. You have a good podcast, you have a good conversation, it gets a little bit of tread, and it's like, all right, now next Tuesday's here.
Yeah.
And how do we one up, what we did last week? The week before we interviewed Joe Exotic. You know what I mean? So like we've got levels where it's like, okay, now we've got Joe Exotic, so now we need to get Joe Montana, and and then we need to get Joe Biden. But
there's
it's-
a lot of weeks. I feel Joe Biden. I think
that would be fucking insane,
it
bro.
would be insane.
That would
Absolutely.
like out of Donald Trump, JD Vance, Kamala, Joe's the one I want to interview because I think he voted for Trump, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
You think he voted for Trump?
I think he voted for Trump. His wife wore red to the ballot box. Lifelong Democrats, why would you wear red to the ballot box?
To throw someone like you off.
I think it'd be
To get them
That's a
conspiracy
good
theories
point.
running,
to
bro.
get people talking.
He also wore a MAGA hat, but that's
Yeah,
That clip going viral. That clip is so funny.
I like-
to me.
bro. He was.
I like the MANA, Make America New Again.
Oh yeah, there's
It's
and
be a new thing.
Bobby Kennedy is doing Maha
Make America happy again.
healthy.
Healthy.
Red dyes are gone, bro.
Yeah.
Christmas cakes, bro. Those fucking Little Debbie Christmas cakes. They're not going to be here next year. They're gone.
I mean, if you
Red-
go into the Gatorade aisle,
Red dye gone.
you go into the Gatorade aisle, it's filled. No one's touching Gatorades because it's got the dye in it.
Yeah,
Except the white Gatorade. You can buy a white Gatorade and there's no dye.
yeah.
That's the only one that doesn't have blue, yellow, or red. The white one, you can get that cherry.
Honestly, those are really good. Like,
They are good. They're
Unpopular opinion, I love them.
the white one,
white
yeah,
cherries?
yeah,
The frost.
Yeah, they're the
So
only ones
good.
that don't have the dye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're. I mean, though the dye, like, because we keep dye from Charlie's Diet, so no artificial dyes in any of our stuff. So, I mean, even down to like the fruit snacks, like certain ones have dye in it, some don't. So we've watched hers and monitored it a lot, and it's definitely a challenge when you start to look at all the product that has dye in it. It's insane. Even Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Even the Pop-Tarts, will they have the red dye in the cherry Pop-Tarts?
Well, I mean, but
every little bit has that.
But then again, there's ways to create that product without those red dyes.
There is.
They've got it in Canada, but for some reason,
the United States just
like,
wants to
fuck it.
poison us.
Yeah,
They're just trying to control us. They're
Bobby Kennedy's in here for it.
keep us in the matrix.
Look, bro. Look. I am so close to eating those silicone
I'm not scared.
things that if you buy a jacket and then
The little.
it's a
silica
little
packets?
silica packet that
Don't
says
do it.
"Do not eat."
Look, man,
Dude.
they're keeping it from us. There's something secret in there.
If you eat that, you're out of the matrix, bro. It's literally the pill to get you back
Bro,
in.
until
That is not official. Don't
Don't-
go trying
Dude,
it and
do
blame
not.
the
Do
mad
not.
scientist.
until I get a call like, bro, my stomach is dead. I'm not gonna be at the podcast tonight. I ate one of those things. I'm like, Jay, what? I'm trying to get
Can't
on the
be any
matrix,
can't
bro.
be any worse than the packy shit, bro.
True, but they're done doing those
Oh
too.
shit,
Any updates? Are they done?
bro! It would have been right now. It would have been October.
Yeah, because
That's when they would have come out.
The little dude died. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, and he because of a pocky chip, according to
He had heart complications. though.
complications.
Yeah,
but it obviously did something in them to where they're not.
bro.
releasing
It will.
the
It will.
2020
I mean, you know how it feels. Like we did the pocky chip every year. We did it as just a challenge here. Yeah, bro. It's half
there
a
it
chip
is.
might still be in there. If
Hold
you
that
want.
up. You want to?
It might.
There might be a half a chip in there.
I did this one year actually. I love spicy
If
food.
there's
I did
half a
this.
chip, I might take it. I'm starving.
I'm starving.
There
It's-
is,
I got water.
there is the powder in here.
I'm
Which will-
good on that.
which will mess you up.
Yeah.
Oh, there's half a chip. There's half a chip.
Oh,
That is bold.
Matt, you going for it, bro?
Here, take.
Actually, hold on.
Grab me.
The question is, hold on, is this expired?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Hand me
It
one.
is not for consumption.
But it has nothing. It has nothing
mean,
with the spice.
Hand me a
though.
tiny piece.
Tiny piece.
Oh, bold.
Probably not tiny.
It's
Probably
fine.
the piece
Bro,
you grabbed.
this has like ghost pepper and scorpion.
It's gonna be
pepper.
enough. I can
Yeah.
assure you.
Carolina Reaper in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. Gonna
I've
water.
eaten a straight Carolina Reaper before.
It's
All
bold.
right, yeah, we're gonna need a new bottle of water. Y'all got water?
We can go across the street.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's
Yeah.
all right. Or
All right.
across the hallway.
We got wine. We got.
I'm the
sangria.
only
I
one.
am not legal.
I am.
I'm
I'm the
turn
only
21.
one. All right, you ready?
All right, yeah, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Andy licked the fingers, bro. That's gonna be the worst. You know what's crazy is the powder that's in there.
That's
it
instant.
it gets in between like your teeth and your gums, bro, and like your gums go numb on it. It's wild.
Oh, you opened yourself up right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you start
like
coughing,
It's just starting. It's a process.
coughing puts you in the coffin.
Yep. Oh, that's fire,
That was
Jay.
good.
That's
Right.
good.
Put
Coffin.
that in a shirt.
Coffin puts you in the coffin. Oh, you're definitely gonna be feeling some type of way. That water is not gonna. Well, your best bet is to get. No, actually, I think.
Actually, no, milk's temperate. It's like a temperate.
Yeah, your best bet is to get lemon juice from those like little lemon-shaped little bottles. Lemon juice, the acidic will break up the heat. So pour that in your mouth. Once I discovered that fact that acidic is the thing that breaks up the heat, changed my game on heat. Anything in heat, whether it's spicy or even if it's like a long-lasting like.
That
undertone.
makes sense.
Yeah,
When,
the acidic. Yeah.
when I worked at Scott's Lawn Service, fucking crazy fact for anybody that's out there: if you have a dog that pees on your yard, and it kills the grass, like like a concentrated area where the dog pees and all of a sudden the
Dogs
grass
destroy
dies right there.
everything. Yeah, they destroy the whole yard.
So typically, if that happens, it's a female dog, and the way to fix that is just put a little bit of tomato juice on top of their dry food. If you put tomato juice on top of their dry food, the acidity in the tomato juice will counteract the acidity in the urine, which won't kill the yard. As long as the dog is young, you don't want to give an 8 to 10-year-old dog, start putting tomato juice on top of his food. But if it's younger,
They won't notice.
throw it on there, bro. They'll like it, and your yard won't be as affected.
That's interesting.
Sure is, bro. I'm a man of useless knowledge.
That is useless.
but
it's also powerful knowledge.
I
I wouldn't want to put stuff with my dogs because
you know what the average lifespan of a baseball in the major league is?
it's like 1.5, 2 pitches.
2.5 pitches.
Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah.
They go through the amount of baseballs they go through in a game is insane.
Crazy.
And they just get rid of
Absolutely
the balls.
crazy.
They don't even reuse anything. They use them for practice and then they use them for fan stuff, but they don't recycle them for anything. They just
Nope. Do you know what the first product was with the barcode?
Oh, sorry.
I don't
Since you said
know.
that with baseball, it's got to be something like sports memorabilia now that I'm thinking of it.
Nah, Wrigley's Spearmint Gum.
Really?
Wrigley's. First product to have a barcode.
And the little piece of gum.
I'm a man of useless knowledge, bro.
Why would you need the barcode on that and nothing else?
Because you gotta get your 25 cents. Actually, it was probably like a nickel back then. It was probably a nickel for a pack.
Actually, probably even less.
How you feeling
Right.
over there? He's chugging that water.
Oh shit!
Mine's actually, you know, it's weird. Mine's calming down.
Well, let it make its way to your stomach, and then when it's there, it's gonna move inside of your stomach.
It's like a homing device,
You'll
bro.
be able to tell where it's at actually, like as it moves, because
Well, yeah.
it'll hit the walls of it, and then you'll be like, "Oh, that hurts," and then all of a sudden the left side will hurt.
You can literally feel
Oh,
where
yeah,
it's
no,
at in your
I've,
stomach.
I've had the one chip.
Have
before.
you? Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did mention that.
I did
I
in
haven't.
2021.
Okay,
So this is hotter, but I also did the whole chip.
which is an experience on its own.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I threw this one up in the parking lot downstairs. So like once I got to the car, I threw up like just outside of my car. Came back next morning, got the same parking spot, and before I even opened the door, I was like, "What the fuck is that smell? I'm gonna throw up, bro." And it was literally, I hopped out of the car and I apologize, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
The vomit was dried up, and it was just that capsaicin, just that powder.
Oh.
And it, like, my body was like, "You're not doing this again, dude." And it's like, no, I'm just,
no,
body, I'm just coming to work. We're just walking past this.
See,
But-
whenever,
It creates a PTSD.
Dude, it really does. It like
It
biting
really-
into that chip 365 days later,
Same
like
experience.
1 year after biting it the previous year, your body's like, not again. Like in your mind, you're like, I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
But your body's like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah,
Like it's so crazy that
it remembers.
it remembers, and it's
And you're-
that recall of like, even though your brain's like, we're ready to go, that recall's like, we didn't like this 365 days ago. What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, and I mean, and me I didn't throw it up. I kept it through the system.
All
and
3 years.
All 4 years.
We did it 4.
We did 4 years.
All right.
Yeah, 20 through 21, 22,
Yep.
23. And but like putting it, the worst part is when it passes all the way. When it's time to visit the throne, the toilet throne, the porcelain throne, it's time to let it out. And that, oh man, is a rough.
Yeah, I definitely. So I'm good with spice. Like, my buddy brought like jalapeno pickles or ghost pepper pickles or whatever to work, and he had me try one. But I can't eat Chipotle unless like a bathroom is very close. Like I will eat now I have to eat bowls because I broke my tooth, but I eat the bowl, and then almost immediately I have to like it's either
Goes right through you.
yeah, it either goes right through me or the next day I'm out of commission the whole day.
It might be like the seasoning. Yeah, I wonder what it is. I know Chipotle really seasons their food.
It's either the seasoning, the beans, or the spice. Because I get the hottest hot sauce on there.
Probably what the issue is.
It probably is.
Yeah,
I should
I
probably
mean,
stop getting it, but it's
If
too
you
good.
break
It's
it
a
down,
good
it's
sauce.
probably the heat.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But what like makes it go through really fast is like the beans. Because beans will they'll make you need to.
Yep.
Know.
yeah, it'll the body. It's amazing what the body pushes through,
Bro.
and and you can chew stuff up, and the body will put it back together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Corn, the fact that corn can go into you mushed and come out full is a science mystery amongst any.
The
high-level-
body in general is absolutely incredible, bro. We have like we're trying to create these things today. You know what I mean? Like the body can take an apple and break it down, pull out the nutrients, get rid of everything else. And like our body has like a valve that just closes like it would be awful if we didn't have a valve at the end of our asshole, bro. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
the way that the human body your skin can be cut open, bro, and without going to the doctor your skin will grow back together.
Will heal
We
back.
are aliens
Well-
without question.
Yeah, and they don't really fully understand the process of pooping. They don't really understand how we don't get infections all the time and how the body really works. I learned that they don't even fully know why it works how it does.
Bro, they don't even know what we do when we dream. Like
They don't know a lot.
we
There's
are
so many
novices when it comes
of
to
our
the-
own selves.
Of
Yeah,
our own
they
selves.
don't know. I mean, the idea that a dream can be a totally new dimension that you're going into and you're living while you're sleeping, that's insane. I mean, I could totally see it because then it would align why things can predict the future.
Oh, for sure.
It would
You get,
make
like
sense.
Deja vu.
Yeah, well, deja
Deja vu is the craziest thing, bro. Deja vu is absolutely fucking insane. Like every time I've had deja vu, it's never been in a negative moment. Every time I've had deja vu, it's always been like a happy-go-lucky or somewhere where it's like I'm meant to be there. And like I've told my wife this numerous times, like right place, right time. She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, I just had deja vu. And so I had to explain it to her. Like I don't know. I know there's something up there. I don't think he's a white guy with long hair. I think he could be a black dude, could be an alien. Like who the fuck knows? But there's something bigger out there.
That's how I am.
And I think there's a line from A to B. This is our timeline, and through the course of time, we do bad, we do good, but whenever we cross that A to B timeline that quote unquote God has for us, that's when you hit that deja vu. You know what I mean? That's like, oh, I remember this. You're coming across that timeline again, where it's like, boom, oh shit, I remember this somehow.
Yeah,
and it's
whenever basically when the alignment happens.
Exactly.
When alignment happens, I think has
I
something to
like-
it. But I also have heard that it's like convoluted. It's like where your memory kind of is similar enough to where it like attaches till you're already designated.
I can literally predict what you're gonna say for the next 5 seconds when I have deja vu. Like I could stop you and say yeah, and it's like I don't I don't dream where I can wake up and remember the memories or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I have heard that pot definitely like subsides dreams. Like once you start smoking pot, you really don't dream anymore.
Or like it's also like when you stop smoking pot, after a while
You
your
start
dreams will get so
Super
vivid
crazy, yeah.
because I don't know, it's just it's crazy. And like also like another weird thing about the human body is just like the amount like of nervous system. If you were just to stretch out the nervous system, it's miles long.
Crazy, bro.
Compact into like a 6 foot tall body.
Or
Right.
5'8".
Or 5'8".
It's okay, buddy. But yeah, no, it's like our human body is insane. And then when you like one question I ask people sometimes is, what do you think the biggest organ in your body is? Like, what would you say it is?
I know it's a trick question. Skin.
Yeah,
Dermal.
it is the skin.
Yeah.
It's like you would never think your skin's an organ, but then when
Right.
you think about it more, it's like, yeah, it's like the human body is just genuinely just fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's crazy. Absolutely insane. Like the fact that we can't reproduce what we do. Like or we can reproduce, which we don't even know how the fuck that is an occurrence. You know what I mean? But like we can reproduce what we do, but we can't build what we are.
We can't truly fully replicate what we are.
Yeah, but unless it's
cloning
natural, bro. Unless it's not, like, that's the craziest thing is like you can give birth and you can create this amazing sentient fucking robot that has feelings and can see, and like, you know, once you start getting into like social media, podcasting, all this stuff, like there was a moment in my time where I was like, our eyesight is insane, because like if I'm looking at this microphone right here, you guys are blurred out. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at this microphone, you guys are blurred out. Now I'm looking at you guys, this microphone's blurred out. That cost me thousands of dollars if I want to buy that in a camera. If I want to have depth of field where if I look at this, they're blurred out. If I look at you, this is blurred out.
Yeah.
How the fuck do we have this in our own eyeballs, but it costs thousands of dollars to replicate it in a camera?
Because it's worth more out of your eyes anyways.
It's insane, bro. The fact that we naturally have this amazing ability to focus and unfocus and have like a depth of field that people pay thousands of dollars for on a camera, and we've got it. Everyone has it.
It built into your
It's
sight.
built in naturally.
It's also interesting how like you don't notice it, but you look down, you can see your nose. Like, just like, oh, there's my nose now. I can now see my nose.
But
like,
your brain takes it away.
it takes it away, and it's
Yeah.
like my nose right here, but I can see the mic entirely, just
Mhm.
on the bottom part of my view.
Right.
It's so weird. Like the human body is just so complex.
Do you know that the brain doesn't realize that your eyeballs are in your eyes?
Yeah,
So if the brain realized your eyes were in there,
it would start like eating itself,
yes,
wouldn't it?
it would eat your eyes from the inside. Yeah, because
me-
it does not realize it. In fact, the brain is so powerful. If you tell your stuff negative connotated words, like if you say like, "Hey, I'm bad at this. I'm not good." This negative, the brain doesn't know that you're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
It just hears the negative connotation because you're putting negative connotation. Like if you were saying, "I'm so
That's
bad,
crazy.
I'm so bad at this," and you make it positive, your brain just doesn't know. It doesn't even know that you're saying it to yourself, yet you're creating it from your brain. It's wild, which makes it comes back to like, where do we even where does this even come from? And where's the science behind what your brain is capable of doing? And the fact that we don't use as much of our brain, and we use portions of our brain, and some people use those portions stronger than others. It's all a gigantic mystery.
Yeah.
And I think it's fascinating, really. Now that I've gotten older and I've realized that like my brain is a big part of how I'm able to do what I'm doing, rather than like we talked. You mentioned size. Like I'm right with you in the height thing, but my brain is how I've pushed my life further and gotten
Yep.
further because of how I think. And I'm like, all right, well, if I think outside the box, for some reason others aren't quite thinking outside the box like that. So maybe I should just keep going that route because it's uncharted territory. Like we're doing uncharted territory. So, and that's okay. Like I have the confidence in my pivoting ability to go into uncharted territory, because if it doesn't really work out, I know proven tips and proven routes to make it work. You know what I mean? If I have to do something, I can find a way to sell t-shirts. I can find a way to print merch. I can do something on the base level of my knowledge. But if I can push the bounds even further, maybe I can open doors that otherwise would never, that don't even exist.
Yep.
Maybe I can create the door, and I really like that idea that
Bro,
exists.
you want to hear something crazy, bro? So like talking
Of
about
course.
the eyes and how like the brain like corresponds with the eyes. So like I've had 5 eye surgeries, and like lights are out on this side of the house. Can't see anything. It's just completely black. But one of the surgeries, they had to reattach the retina. So the retina's like all like on the mad scientist stuff, like all the pink that's behind the eye. That's what detached and which caused me to go blind. So they tried reattaching it a couple times, and they had to do this thing called a sclerobuckle, which is basically like a zip tie where they sew it in and out of your eye. So they go in your eyeball and then they go out, and then it wraps over the retina and then it goes in the eyeball and out. And it's a literal zip tie. But when I got back to the waiting room after the surgery, once I woke up, my mom was sitting here. There was a chair here. She was sitting there. Door was here. Another chair was sitting there. And when I looked at her, I had this vision and I had this vision. Like, so one eye was straight and the other eye was crooked, and freaked me out, bro. Freaked me out. Like I told my mom, I was like, they put my eye in wrong. They put my eyeball in wrong.
Oh.
And so she called the nurse. Nurse came in, and I was like, I've got double vision. I've got this, and I've got everything that's this. And she goes, just give it 5 minutes. Your brain is going to
Create that?
your brain's basically going to readapt and straighten everything out. They put my eyeball in sideways, but my brain goes, that's not right, and then corrects it. My eyeball didn't move. My eyeball stayed this way in my eye, but my brain corrected that shit.
That's insane.
That is
crazy.
fucking
Really cool.
insane,
That is
bro.
insane. Like the brain knew the eyeball was there, that it didn't eat it, right? In theory.
I think it's the focus, like how we were talking about how we can see the mic, but you guys are blurred out. I think it just like readjusted. Like if you're holding a camera this way, and you readjust it to this, it's pretty much just going to fix itself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or what I wonder.
Well,
what
I'm
it
looking at
is.
you. I'm looking at you right now, but
Yeah.
there's a camera between us,
Yeah.
technically. But I'm not. The camera might as well be see-through,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, really, the camera's between you and I, mostly, but the camera might as well be see-through because it's
Yeah.
right there. But I'm like looking at you in the eyes with both my eyes. But the
Yeah.
camera's kind of in our left eye or your right.
Yeah.
But my brain is looking right past that camera like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's wild to think that my brain is doing that right now. And I'm not even controlling that. It's always that way. I've always got this vantage point to the guest, but my brain just disregards this camera that's just sitting there because I don't know, like obviously nothing's keeping from us,
Yeah,
but
no, yeah,
like
we can
it.
see each other straight up.
But when I'm looking at him, this whole time this camera is just it's
It's
like,
kinda like
it's
it's
there,
moved.
but it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to think that my brain is literally seeing this and saying that's not important.
No, yeah,
It's
'cause
literally
like the
telling,
focus.
it's choosing what's important based on me not telling that it's important or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty crazy. Now that
I've got a crazy question. Who the
Okay.
fuck made up those photos in the '90s where if you focused on it, all of a sudden a 3D image popped out?
came out of the thing.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
Oh yeah.
Dundee Al Bundy, bro.
Yeah.
I can't see, bro. I was paying like $18 to go see a 3D movie just to see it in 2 dimensions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the wife wanted to see 3D, the Aslan wanted to see 3D. It's like, all right, I'll go here and spend $56 just to watch this, and a worse version of 2D because now you got the glasses on
Yeah.
and everything's kind of like it's a little
all
fucked
blue.
up.
Yeah, and the fact that like if you were to go to like Disney World, like half the stuff there is all it's 3D and different things.
I went to a 3D haunted
Muppet
house
Show.
one time at
Interesting.
at Kings Island of all places, and it was crazy. I walked into a room and they had life-size poker cards up against the wall. So it was like King, Joker, Queen, all this shit. And you couldn't tell if there was a real person laying up against that wall or not until you walked by.
And they did have real people?
Yes, bro. Yeah, they would jump out and scare the shit out of you, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this has got to be 15, 20. It's got to be closer to 20 years ago. And it was still like, it's out of all the haunted houses I've gone to Dent Schoolhouse. Like, that is the one memory that was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, that's I love when they jump out.
it's just.
The NFL ones are amazing. When they have even
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah.
the
Oh,
players
yeah.
are like standing like,
Like
the
statues,
statue,
yeah.
and like they did it to Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
like they just had the players jump out in the uniform, and the people that's
Do they just have like random statues, like
That's so
you know what I mean,
weird, yeah.
like
Yeah.
random mannequins
all over the place?
Yeah.
To just
What I wonder is if they're like oh, someone put a mannequin here. It's like, oh, I guess this is like a new, like what our new jerseys look like or something like
It
that.
could be, yeah.
Or it's like there's like, oh, I guess it's just like a new pose or something like that. Or it's like how you see like statues of like there's like statues of like Steph Curry and like LeBron James, even though they're part of the NBA. You know, they might have stuff like that in the
Yeah, yeah,
NFL,
yeah.
like the Hall of Fame. You know, they might have stuff like, oh, you know, it's a cool little memorial. Oh my God.
yes, they just make them jump, and like those players are so funny though because they make these squeal sounds and stuff, and these guys are just the toughest guys.
Or
you
like,
know?
yeah, their voices get high and they're like, listen here, you motherfucker. Their voices
I
just,
will take your ass down, boy.
yeah, after they just start screaming like
Right.
really high up. It's
Yeah.
it's
It's the
so
best.
funny.
It is the best. There's
Hey, Andrew Listerman, what up, fellas?
Hey.
Keep up the good work. That was the guy that I was just talking about that was telling us to pivot, man. Andrew Listerman, he does all of Chris Brown's music videos, Justin Bieber's music videos,
What? That's sick.
Tyga.
Hey, and there's Erin Scott. She they just announced a new band called Lend, Lend.
Hey,
Yeah, so shout out
let's
to Erin
go.
Scott. Yeah, man. That's I love to see when artists are making new on their own. You know what I mean? Like they it was Erin Scott music, and she had someone she was playing with, and now she's got a 4-piece, and yeah, pretty cool to see artists doing their thing, and hopefully we get a show for them soon and get them out there performing to the public. And Andrew Listerman, he's legit, dude. He's super legit.
I love going to like concerts and stuff like that. Like last year I went to my first concert.
Same.
Yeah. So I went to a
New
couple-
to it, eh? Yeah, nice.
So I went to a 3 Days Grace concert when they were down here.
Okay.
That was because I've been listening to 3 Days Grace since I was I don't know, like 5. Ever since like when 1X came out, favorite album of all time, favorite rock band. It's just, oh my God, it's so good. And
Yeah.
like, I'm a big rap fan, so probably my dream one to go to Eminem.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
I've got money stored away for when Eminem goes on tour, just because like Kaylin's like she's like I'm gonna pull out like whatever fucking loan I have to do. Like I've got to see Eminem. Got to see him.
Oh yeah.
Gotta see him.
It's like I get it.
Yeah.
See, it's like because another thing is like I love Eminem. I've listened to his music for a long time. Like ever since my brother was in high school, you know, and there's like a 10-year age difference between us. And it's like, you know, so I've listened to him forever. You know, I know his fast parts. You can even ask Ty here.
Yeah, we put on a Godzilla or Rap God. He's singing along even during the fast parts.
That's the
and it's
shit.
Able
Yeah,
to keep up.
I love doing it because it's like, who can you say can keep doing that at their age?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, you can say like Twista. You can say people. I mean, Logic. I mean, he's not too old, but he can.
But
still keep it up.
even Twista, like even if he can rap fast, like I'm from Chicago and I'm like Twista is one of my favorite rappers of all time, but you have to have relevance along with the fast rapping, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Twista's fucking fun. He's the fastest and the baddest at rapping, but actually I just saw Busta Rhymes recently fucking just murder it on some shit.
Oh, Busta Rhymes like Tech Nine as well. Oh, they're also just phenomenal. It's just like at their age, it's just phenomenal how they can just keep going and they get faster.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you hear Rap God for the first time, like that's fast, and then you hear like, okay, then you have Speed 'em, that's fast, and then you get like Majesty with Eminem with Nicki Minaj, that's fast, and you get Godzilla. It's just like, where's the stopping point? Because it just keeps getting faster and faster and faster. It's just insane to see.
They're like trimming their own fat.
Yeah.
They're basically being like, hey, I've already done this, so let's just take out these small syllables. Let's break it down that way. It's kind of like there's this band that actually Miss May I gave a shout out at their show, but they're called August Burns Red. They're one of the biggest metalcore bands in the world. And but the way they write their breakdowns, so they take all the notes. So the notes are all out here on the line.
Yeah.
And rather than play the notes like da 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 da, they remove the notes that they don't want to play. So they can always create original breakdowns. So they're just removing notes. So they have all the notes and they remove them. And then they do the breakdowns that way rather than making the breakdown fit how they want. They just basically create it, reverse engineer it.
Sick.
Great idea. When I found out that's how they were writing their breakdowns, it made so much sense how they got so big. But they can go as fast as they want because they can just only remove 4 or 5 and 6 notes, whatever.
Yeah.
So they do the reverse thing. I think the rappers do the same thing. They're like, all right, we've done all these notes and all these different sections. How can I take out that stuff and go even faster? And obviously they're gonna they're gonna put the words in place that really roll off the tongue. They know the go-to, like, I guess it's like a
it's a typical rhyme scheme.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an algorithm. It's like a way to go about it and make it. There's the lights again.
Yeah.
But it's just a formula.
Yeah,
when it comes down to it, and they've figured it out, and even at their older ages, they still have that talent. It's just, do they need to push the limits? Eminem, all these guys, they seem like they do because they want to be remembered. This new generation, a lot of these people don't know the heights of these of these rappers. They're seeing like the new MGKs and the new, the new Drake and the new this, the new that, and then the originals are kind of left in the dust. And these guys are way too talented to be left in the dust.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
People are like, I genuinely don't understand, like, the Eminem hate on TikTok. Like, I genuinely do not understand it. Like, people are like, bro, Eminem's so washed. He needs to stop doing music. It's like, are we listening to the same thing here? Like, his rhyme schemes are crazy. The way he's able to, like, manifest words to where you're like, I understand what he's saying. You're like, I don't understand it, but I want to learn about what he's saying. And it's just like, even like in his fast parts, he has like disses against people in him, and you have to like.
It's crazy, bro. If you break down his actual lyrics and what he has to say, it is so far beyond a regular rap album. You know what I mean? Like, he throws that. The one line, bro, where he says he didn't spell rapper without 1 P, did he?
Oh,
like
that's such a
bro,
good one.
like, come on, dude. Like that is so fucking far beyond like even writing an essay. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the chef's kiss, bro. You know what I mean? Like there was one other lyric that I've heard other than that, and it was Lil Wayne that said. Damn, and even Lil Wayne didn't remember saying it. Like when somebody repeated him to him, he's like, I did that.
Yeah,
it was like he was talking about you want to have safe sex because you don't want a late text. No, he says wear the latex because you don't want to get a late text saying I'm late next. Something like that. And he was like, damn, bro, I said that? And he was like, fuck, yeah, it was in your song. He was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, you laid that down.
It's just insane. Like, rappers nowadays, there are some like R.I.P. Juice WRLD. Like Juice WRLD was gonna be like I genuinely think Juice WRLD was gonna be like the next Eminem. His rhyme schemes were insane. His voice was insane.
He never left the studio.
He never
No.
left. Yeah,
He's got so many songs that are just ready to be dropped, bro. It's
There's
crazy.
actually
Still.
Yeah, there's still
final
doing-
album.
He did some with Marshmello, right? He's
Yeah.
dropped some songs with Marshmello too.
And his final album comes out soon. I'm trying to. It got pushed back again. I don't remember like when it's coming out, but I think it is gonna be his final album.
His
many final albums
it'll never be his final album, bro.
Yeah,
just
absolutely not.
just look at Tupac.
and
Oh, yeah.
AI.
Tupac's had probably
yeah, the AI.
7 to 11 albums when it comes to
After his part.
yeah, because of the Outlaws. Like, you know, the Outlaws were like Tupac's gang, like of like underprivileged rappers. So they had a bunch of like little snippets that Tupac like rap with them, and they were like, oh, let's fucking put this out and let's feature Tupac on it, and it's gonna get so many hits. It's like fucking album's trash, bro. Whole album's trash. Like unless it's Tupac in general, like the Outlaws album is trash.
See, like, I gotta go back to the podcast for a second. Like, this is like what we want our podcast to be. Just like you're hanging out with the guys.
Oh, yeah.
A topic comes up and you just want to keep going. Like, I know we were talking about podcasts and we kind of split off for a good while, but this is kind of like what I love about podcasts.
That's
like,
why it's called the Bro-Hemian podcast, because it's like three
The guys
friends.
are talking.
Yeah, it's just the guys talking, and it's just trying to keep it like raw and real, and just keep it like with the friends, you know.
So what's your favorite part about like your podcast that you do? Is it just like whether it's getting together with the guys, or is it getting the message across, or is it like the camaraderie of like when you guys are live? Like what's the one thing that pushes you guys to do it the following week?
Honestly, so our last episode was Matt was able to embarrass me on our way here to watch a movie, and I think like just keeping debates, like literally arguing on the podcast about random stuff. Me and Tanner argued about Carly Rae Jepsen "Call Me Maybe" song. I didn't like it. He loved it, and because we were doing a tier list, and so we just argued, and I was like, I hate that.
I mean,
song.
that's a good juxtaposition too, because that song is like everyone knows what it is,
Oh, yeah.
and it's very easy to love, and it's very easy to fucking hate. Like
Yeah.
it's a great juxtaposition for sure.
It's just, I think that's another thing is like, it's just like you're just sitting there and you're just listening to a conversation with one of the guys. And
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
like how we're saying, like, it's just so easy to have an argument, but it's like a fun argument. You're not actually like yelling at each
Oh,
other,
no.
like hating each other. Like, no, you're having a fun argument with one another about what you're talking about. And I think that's why I love watching it I love doing it every other week.
Yeah, the real arguments
every
wait
week.
until we get on Fortnite and somebody does something stupid.
Yeah. Yell at each other.
Every time.
Yeah, just don't not justify, but don't ruin the camaraderie of the game. That's all.
Oh,
At
yeah.
the end of the day, bro.
Oh, we were talking earlier about just not trying to win, just doing like meme strats. Because I watch a streamer called Laserbeam, and he did a whole like meme Olympics, like just funny ways to just have fun doing like playing the game. And we're probably gonna do that soon. I might record it and put it up on the podcast channel and whatever.
That'd be fun.
Bro, I've got so you just said something about the Olympics, and it just fucking popped something in my brain from probably early 2000s, maybe. How old are you guys?
I'm 21. He's 20.
20.
Okay, so you guys don't know about the Pain Olympics.
Oh, no, I've heard of it.
I
Okay.
think so,
I've
like, where they
heard of
belly
it.
flop.
Have you ever seen the Pain
Yeah.
Olympics?
I know the Pain Olympics.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so
of
all right,
course.
fucking
I'm cool on that.
dumbest. Like I want to know what this guy's doing now.
Probably still paying medical bills.
The guy that cut it. So the Pain
Right?
the
I mean,
Pain
I
Olympics, like back when like there was no podcast, there was nothing like popping out. you know, it was like fucking 2 girls, 1 cup was like the type of shit that would pop up on the internet.
God, you just, we just
It was right. It was like
Yeah.
the same like genre of years. But the Pain Olympics were like how much pain can somebody take, and
Sort of like Jackass.
they were complete jackasses. I saw some dude cut his dick off.
Oh,
Yes.
not that funny.
Chopped his dick off, bro. Just chopped it off. Just fucking.
Yeah, that reminds me of oh, I can't think of what it's like
Can't.
an old internet website. It's like defunct now.
Oh, dude, E-Bombs World. Let's go. Is
yeah,
it
so-
E-Bombs World?
No, it wasn't E-Bombs World, but it was like you watched a video, and if you were it was it's on the tip of my tongue.
Let me see.
It's like test your
Let me see.
It's like test your limit.
I love that.
It's like it's like test your limits.
Share your tongue.
It's like it's like
Let me see what's
test
on
your
the end.
limits, where it'll show you like a video, and it's like, are you sure you want to go to the next one? The next one can be more
Oh.
fucked up. That's just like what that reminds me of, and I'm like, how is this around on YouTube,
Bro,
Like,
let
on,
me
like,
let.
YouTube and on
all
the
right,
internet?
I'm gonna school you guys on some old school shit. There was a VHS cassette that went around in like the early '90s. It was called Faces of Death.
That's on YouTube. Yeah.
It's bro.
Never
I'm
heard of
like,
this.
this was the craziest fucking. It was. You couldn't rent it in Blockbuster. You couldn't rent it in any stores. I don't know how anybody had it because the internet wasn't around, so you couldn't just buy it off of eBay or something and then like have it. It was a movie or a fucking 2-hour VHS of deaths.
Yeah.
Like whether it was people jumping off of a building or
War footage.
or somebody getting like eaten by a bear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I saw an electrocution at 12 years old, bro. I saw a real life electrocution where the guy's eyeballs popped out of his head. So when they do an electrocution, they tape your eyeballs.
Yep.
They go right across. They just tape them because the electricity fucking jolts everything, and
Yeah.
you can literally see the tape. Like the second his eyeballs pop out of his brain, bro. But
It's genuinely insane. Like I was like, I think that's why I'm fucked up because I saw
Probably.
this stuff when I was young. Like
I think
I had free I had like free access to the internet. I'm like, ooh, what's this? Oh, ooh, what's this? Oh.
I'm not. I don't think I'm fucked up because of it, but I do think that I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, there's a dead
it's
person.
a lot more chill.
Desensitized.
Desensitized. Except like animals, it still bugs me when I see like
Oh,
if I see like an animal getting hit by a car on Facebook, it's like get out of my face, bro. I don't
Yeah,
want to
no,
see
no,
that.
no.
But if there's a shootout in Houston, I'm like fucking
me
rewinding it,
watch.
like I'm like fucking trying to figure out what's happening.
All right, so this one's gonna get hit. He's gonna live. Now he's taking the best shot. He's about to this man's about to trick shot one of
Best
them.
shot.
Yeah.
Bro, but that Faces of Death video, bro, like yeah, that was something I was like I said, probably either 8th grade or a freshman in high school, and it was one of those things where like somebody just gave it to you, and then you watched it for 3 or 4 days, and then you gave it to somebody else because you couldn't get caught with this shit. Like it was fucking crazy.
I remember what it's called. Run the Gauntlet.
RunTheGauntlet.com.
It's defunct now, so no one go try to look it up. It is defunct. You're not gonna find it. So it is one of the worst things that was ever on the internet. It would just get more and more fucked up.
Yeah. Pain Olympics is the worst thing I've ever seen, bro. When I saw that dude chop his prick off, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
I
Like
thought
what?
it was pretty bad too. It just the Pain Olympics. It was like pointless. There was no like
There was
winner.
no outcome.
There was no outcome. There was no winner. There was no like.
You just lost your
He
winner.
lost. He definitely lost.
He did not win.
He didn't win anything, but he definitely lost.
Yeah, he did not win.
No one won that day.
He was.
there was many things lost.
It's like you remember when Charlie Sheen was winning.
Oh, bro.
That
Fucking Tiger
they
Blood.
They need to bring Tiger Blood. Yeah, they need to bring that energy back.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
man.
we're missing an era.
winning.
Exactly.
Winning.
I,
Bro.
I remember going to Chicago and Charlie Sheen shirts were everywhere. For St. Patty's Day, I bought this green like baseball tee and it has like his basically a shadow of him and it said winning. Oh, one of the best shirts I've ever owned.
You know he's got gold teeth.
Yeah.
he loves his gold teeth, bro. And they like every time he does like news conferences or TV shows, they don't let him wear his teeth. But he's got 2 gold teeth right here, and he fucking loves them, bro. If you see photos of like us meeting Charlie Sheen,
There will be golden teeth.
yeah, he's
We got to
every time, bro. He's putting it out there.
hit up Emilio.
Emilio. Emilio's a friend of the brand. Emilio Estevez. That's Charlie Sheen's brother.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he. I ran into him a lifetime ago. He bought some hats the day before I closed the store. So he came in. He bought a hat, and that night was my grand finale at P&G. Look at you, bro. You're like, I'm putting this bitch on. Let's go.
I'm gonna see if I can fit it on because
You just have to adjust the
no.
headphones.
Well, yeah, I wasn't able to adjust these for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm just stupid or.
Probably.
Yeah, it looks like that's very low, like the lowest.
Yeah, I think the rubber wrap in the middle, I think, has to be pushed up a little.
Yeah, it's
Watch
it's
it.
almost there.
Let's watch them figure it out.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah, there we
Got
go.
it.
It took a minute, but
Yeah, it's good.
it's
Those are
still sitting a little
those are
weird, but-
the producer headphones,
Yeah,
man.
those are the nice
those are the
ones.
those are the ones that have like the sound comes out a little bit.
Oh,
His are
okay.
like completely muffled, so he has a hard time hearing what you're saying. But those sound a little
yeah,
bit different.
I'm like slightly like open bag. I think that's what the term is.
Open bag, yeah. I and those were Nathan's headphones actually.
Hey, shout out to Nathan.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So our first 2 seasons of the podcast, like that, like Nathan's so dope, bro. Because like we got everything where it was like these headphones are perfect for us, and he's like these are the ones that I need because I need to hear what you guys are saying.
Yep.
I can hear here, but if you guys turn and you're trying to say something to me, I can't hear it unless you're talking here.
Yeah.
So at least there, he's like, I've got.
I could hear you when
Outside
you did that a
sound.
little. I could hear you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So when it comes to the podcast, man, what's the what's the best moment that you guys have had? Like just bouncing ideas and just having fun on the pod. Because that's the thing. Like when it comes to doing the podcast, bro. Like we don't. Like we typically have like a form that you fill out that has like your name, your call list, so like your social media handles and all that stuff.
This is
but-
like so last second. that
But
we didn't
but
fill
it's
it
but
out.
you know the best part is the you know the realness of not like the unscripted.
Yeah, like the spontaneousness. Of
Yeah,
just
bro.
going
So
with
like
it.
so what was the moment that you guys had that's like we got to capture this in the bottle next week? You know what I mean?
Oh man, I'm trying to think. I think one that we have on our TikTok account is I was looking for a drink, this Ghost energy drink. I
Oh,
was trying to
yeah.
find a specific flavor,
Yep.
and then we saw it, and he's like, "Hold on, don't open it yet." I'm like, "Why?" He's like,
Yep.
"I'm putting this on the podcast TikTok to
Yep.
get us like out there a little bit." And
Pretty
for-
sure it was our first video too on,
yeah, it
on
was.
TikTok.
Yeah, and then another one is he was.
What was what was the flavor?
Oh, it was the sour rainbow strip.
Yeah, it was like the Airheads Extreme strips.
Well, it wasn't.
it wasn't Airheads, but it was similar.
yeah.
Gotcha.
I give it like a 9 out of 10.
I don't.
It was a pretty
remember.
good flavor.
It was a while ago.
But yeah, and then another one that we've been kind of bouncing around is I'm not gonna spoil too much, but pranking someone. That's an idea we've been kind of bouncing around a little bit.
Okay. Pranks are pretty funny. I was watching some pranks. Of,
Shock value gets everybody, bro.
Yeah, man. They get
Like
like.
I'm referencing, right?
Not at all.
Oh.
Okay, well,
You're just gonna have to spoil it. I
well,
don't
yeah,
care.
he might not be
Spoil
watching, but
away.
we were gonna prank Tanner, the other co-host.
Oh.
He's working, bro. He ain't
He doesn't
listening
know.
right now.
No, he was on.
We're 2
Oh,
hours.
shit.
in.
We
He's
saw
on.
him for a second.
I hope he's not on anymore.
Well, right now
No,
it's-
he's not. I think he's at work. He's got 30 minutes till he's out.
Oh yeah, he's definitely hard at work.
Yeah, so yeah, we were gonna prank him. What we were gonna do was, the idea was we're gonna have a podcast, and then he had to do a challenge, and if he failed the
Oh.
challenge, we had to get a cardboard cutout of we decided like an animated character, and he had to go on a date with it.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
Like a full on.
Oh, okay.
Like go to a
restaurant.
restaurant, go to a movie.
He
Yeah.
has to sit in the booth. And,
Oh,
yeah,
he
it has
pre-
to go with it.
And he has to pretend that it's real. Like it's a
Yes.
real person.
Oh shit! Like the main key to that is to definitely fucking order her food
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and then eat the food while the server's not there. You know what I mean? So when the server gets back, it's
Or
like,
like-
are you still eating the salad, babe?
Yeah.
I think she's done.
Or like,
think
or like,
she's
or like take like a pig of it and like poke it in her face.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That was a good one. At first, there's an inside joke between all of us, Jennifer Coolidge, but we all say it Coolidge,
'Cause-
and then we do like an impression of her voice. We were gonna do a cardboard cutout of Jennifer Coolidge, and he has to take her on a date. We were gonna pay for it. To a restaurant and then to a movie, and have to pretend that she is actually Jennifer Coolidge and actually sitting there.
Yeah.
That's hilarious,
That's
bro.
hilarious. Yeah. How are you gonna film this? Who's gonna do the filming?
Oh, we were gonna have. We were gonna go.
We were
probably-
gonna be like following them, sort of like away from them, so
Yeah.
like a couple tables over, and we're just gonna like slowly record.
Like in Practical Joker style.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Gotta do it, bro.
Gotta do it. It's worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he's
Execute
not-
the ideas.
Hopefully he's not paying attention right now, Tan.
Well,
If
I
you
don't
hear
think he
this, go away. Just
All
kidding.
right.
We're 2 hours in. There's a lot of
Yeah.
content that you gotta consume in 2 hours.
Oh yeah, true. And then plus again, he's at work right now, so
Yeah.
Moose's Pappy's popping in. What's going on, Moose's Pappy? Appreciate you guys for tuning into the podcast over here, bro.
I like thinking back on moments. You know, you talked
yeah.
about moments like with the Ghost Energy drink and stuff like that. Were there ever any moments of like aha moments when you are in the podcast itself and you're like, that would be a great idea in middle of recording when like something stems?
literally
Just
yesterday.
Hey,
Yeah, we were talking about.
So we were. I don't remember exactly what we were talking about. We had decided that next podcast, all of us were gonna get a list of hear me outs. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys have seen that all over TikTok, where people are like,
Hear me
"Here's a
out
character.
pics.
Hear me out about this person or this character," and we
Like
had,
that you think they're hot or
You
like,
take- like, yeah.
attractive or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
it's an idea that we saw, and then there was another one. It was celebrity
That's a good
crushes.
idea.
We,
Yeah,
had,
it
we,
was
we
celebrity
did
crushes.
celebrity
Oh.
crushes as well. Like we're gonna get like a bunch of those, and one day that's gonna be like an entire podcast, like a hear me out podcast
Yeah.
or like a celebrity crush podcast. Like just talking about that stuff. Because again,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a question that like maybe not every group talks about. Maybe celebrity crushes, but
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
but like I feel again, it's another thing where it's like we want it to be like the guys are having a conversation, like yo, who's your celebrity
Yeah.
crush?
Who's your hall pass?
Exactly.
always the-
Who,
It's
so who is your celebrity crush?
I can't say it because my girlfriend is watching. She just texted me and said that was her idea. So,
Oh, she's claiming idea.
Yeah.
Is she on here? We see her name?
yeah, she was like the 4th watcher. I told her to comment. She won't comment.
Is there a reason there's been that name the entire time? Is she?
Which name?
I don't know. I see. Well, I guess it's probably at the beginning of the
Oh.
podcast.
Her she's on Instagram. Kayla, respond to the comments.
Oh,
But yeah, mine is
in real time.
So mine is Sofia Vergara
All right.
from Modern Family.
Okay.
That is my celebrity crush. They were judging me for it, but I'm like,
I was, dude.
it's like, come on, really?
If you're judging,
Man,
give us yours.
When you see her in those Lululemon
Sorry to
when you
interrupt.
see her in those Lululemon pants
she
that are see through, it's like okay, yeah, Sophia Vergara's
Yo,
got
There
it.
she
man.
is.
Flipping Kayla.
Yeah.
Hey, flipping Kayla in the business
Hey.
in the building. Let's go.
What's up? What's up?
All right. So who's your celebrity crush? I don't even know this.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Easy. Zoe Deschanel.
Okay.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first saw New Girl, because I was already a fan.
Oh, Jess?
yes.
I love New Girl.
Yeah, that's Zoe Deschanel.
I love New Girl.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Maybe we get a hall pass for that one. Yeah, so you know, but yeah, Zoe Deschanel, everything she's ever done, and just the way she carries herself and her energy, I'm looking for that in another
Yeah, she's
human.
dope.
Another human. If I find that, we're good. But still, you know, still doing my thing. Single dad out here, living my best life.
Who's my celebrity crush? I don't even think I've got one anymore.
No one
know.
think back. I mean, Outside of early Britney Spears.
I mean, I was just gonna
she's
say
on that
you want me
shirt.
to think back, bro.
My name's on that shirt.
Megan Fox from Transformers.
Oh, he's got a Britney though.
Bro, I can't do Megan's thumbs, bro. I couldn't do that.
That's the only thing.
I don't mean to be like Eddie Murphy in this whole situation, but those toe thumbs, bro, I couldn't do it. Like, she's got toe thumbs. Have you seen? Are you showing them right now?
Oh no, Kayla texted me.
Oh.
Hang on, I'll look it up right now.
Fucking
She
Megan
said
Fox
no.
has toe thumbs, bro. They're the weirdest looking things. I just don't. I don't think I could do it. I don't know. Maybe I could. Maybe I couldn't. I don't know,
Just
man.
don't pay attention to the
You know
thumbs.
what? You know.
But when you're holding
I guess
hands, the thumbs are gonna be there.
Yeah, but like.
Okay, I
always-
see it. Do you know?
Yeah.
You want to
see
know what
the
it reminds me
Toe
of?
thumbs.
It reminds you of a toe, bro.
I
Have
see
you
it
ever
a
s-
little bit like. I kind of have the same thing, but I also just have. I have big hands.
No, bro. Hers are little fucking.
Oh yeah, it's like stubby.
Have you
Yeah.
ever
I see
seen
what you mean.
Monsters vs. Aliens?
Um.
It's a cartoon movie.
It's
I
an
watch it a
animated
lot.
No.
So at the beginning of the movie, one of the monsters, before she turns into a monster, she is about to get married, and the mother-in-law has that same kind of thumb.
Mhm.
It's like a stub thumb, and she even warned soon-to-be bride that their kids are gonna have it because it skips a generation.
Oh shit.
And then she like kind of not left the altar, but like went on a walk and got hit by a meteor and became a monster.
I
But,
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I like that movie.
Yeah, man. I think, bro. I think
I see what
Britney.
you're saying.
I think Britney Spears would still be my celebrity crush, even though she's a fucking whack job right now.
Yeah.
But
Like it's bro.
defend her because she's been through so much and people are controlling her, bro.
Yeah.
They have been controlling her for so long.
Bro, she doesn't need to be doing these fucking strange dances while she's all
I-
fucking hot sweating and
I
like.
get that, but
She's
I
got-
can only
she's
imagine
got
what's
ru-
going on in her head.
like,
based on
look,
all
bro,
the,
like-
all the
like-
regulations
She's
been
got
dealing
a
with,
severe case of rosacea. Like when she dances, like her skin gets red. It's not sexy. It's like there was a reason why like Rolling Stones took that photo in that moment. You know what I mean? Like,
expose her for what she is.
well, it was like it was just it was a simple moment. Like when she's out here fucking doing these, like she was cutting her legs with them goddamn knives that she was.
Yeah.
She was over here trying to fucking fish fillet a fucking dance move and like Instagram or like social media right away was like, this bitch cut her leg. Like fucking 3 days later she had like 2 scrapes on her legs where she must have cut her shit.
She got a little loose with it.
But it's like she'd be fun.
Don't be hating on rosacea though.
She'd be fun. No, bro. No,
I got rosacea.
My dad's got it. My dad had it. I'm sure I've got some of it. You know.
It's just that it just makes your skin red because of sun.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, she when she's dancing, she's fucking dancing. Like she's sweating, doing the whole thing,
Yes,
and she's
true.
doing it in like weird clothes, like fucking barely clothed, and she's always grabbing her panty line, and it's like you don't look like you used to. You know what I mean?
She isn't the
Like-
same Britney Spears. I agree. But I also think her mental space has a lot to do with her environment that she's been in for such a long time.
I totally agree with that, bro. Like
know what I
I did see a video where like completely polite. She was the nicest person on the planet. She was at McDonald's going through the drive-through, and she couldn't fucking see the board because somebody was standing there taking a photo. And
Sure, yeah.
and she was like super polite. She was like, "Can you just step a foot over so I can order food?"
Yeah.
Like, and the whole time the guys just got the camera on her, with the kids in the car, like when her boys were real young. But it's just like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, how do you? I couldn't imagine going through a drive-through and just somebody standing there at literally the menu board.
Yeah, in an environment that
Filming
normally there's not even cars around, none of those people to stand there watching you. And on top of that, like, think about all the opportunities that she has to go, if she even wants to go out in general, go to shopping, go to a grocery store. She can't go anywhere. She has to send everything. I'm sure she has to send people out to do it, or she gets a click list and gets it sent in. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
And you have to live that lifestyle. I mean, we've talked about Justin Bieber when he came to Cincinnati, and he had to, like, go to the restroom by himself, and they had a security guards, and they played
I was there
basketball
at Mint.
Mint, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have to
He
live
looked
these-
sad, bro.
I bet he
He
did.
didn't look happy.
I bet he did. He lives this constricted life. He doesn't get freedom.
Right.
He's not free. He's just making a lot of money by being at the top.
Yeah.
At the top of the mountain.
Don't want to be here. Like, just perform the concert. Last thing I want to do is be here at this after party. But
Right.
they're paying me.
Because he's not and he's not getting to know people at the after party.
Nobody.
'Cause
Nobody.
Everyone wants to talk to him. It's like you're Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god! It's like I
No
want to
one-
get to know you. I don't want you just to talk to me. Like I want there to be like a
Yeah.
bit of a mutual
Some discourse.
conversation
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
What's
I think. Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead.
What's even crazier is like Britney Spears and Justin Bieber both got famous at a young age. Like I just looked up, Britney Spears was famous at 16, and that's like they don't. Really
She was famous
Before that, even.
Before that, she was
Mickey
on the
Mouse-
Mickey Mouse
Mickey
Club.
Mouse
Yeah.
Club. Yeah.
She's a part of, like, the original, like, her, Justin Timberlake.
JC Chazé,
JC Chazé, yeah.
Ryan.
She's a part of that group of people that
Mm-hmm.
they started fame really early on, before we even knew what, like, fame was going to become to what it is, because the media has really twisted what fame is.
Yeah.
You know, at one point it was like, you know, you could be a celebrity and not be bombarded by cameras and footage and, you know, whatever. But now, like, when you're famous, like, every time you step out of the house, it's people wanting to get that next click, that article posted. You know what I mean? New York Times, you know, any kind of, you know, TMZ, whoever it is, they're trying to get just you to make one little false step.
Oh yeah.
Because if you do anything right, if you follow all the rules and you're a normal person and you just do your thing, there's not a story there. But as soon as you're walking by and someone says, "Hey, we heard about your relationship with so and so. Can you give us a little taste of what's going on with you and so?" And you're like, "Ugh," and you go like, "Leave me alone." And as soon as you go like this, tabloids.
Yeah.
They scoffed at reporters. There must be something going on between her and him.
Well-
We gotta dig down. We'll find out next week, and that's a whole nother week of them deep dive into your life.
Yeah.
And now you can't even step out on your patio without cameras being at you. You know, so
See, one I think of very often is Tobey Maguire when
Yep.
they were surrounding him with the paparazzi and he was trying to drive. So he opened the door and was like, "Back
Move,
the
motherfucker!
Yeah.
You're in front of my car." Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, they're like, we're blocking traffic. It's like I'm just trying to drive like a normal fucking human being. Don't block traffic for me because I'm a celebrity.
Fucking piss again, bro.
It's just like it's so crazy because like I feel like at a young age, I feel like a lot of us want to be famous. We see
Oh,
these
yeah.
guys and we're like, wow, I want to be like them. They're rich, they're popular, but then like nowadays you're just like, oh my god, that sounds like hell.
Yeah.
yeah,
The money,
yeah.
no, that's not hell, absolutely not. But then you look at like,
But think of what you get with the money.
yeah, you don't have privacy. That's like
Yeah.
Justin Bieber's song "Lonely" is about. He doesn't have privacy. His entire life is out there, and even like you said earlier, like, if you don't do anything, you're not gonna have a thing. That's I think when you said that, I thought of Adam Sandler, because
Yeah.
there's clips just Adam Sandler just walking around hanging out. You don't see anything on Adam except for like when
Yeah.
there's like a new movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adam plays it smart though.
Yeah.
Adam knows that we have an Adam Sandler shirt actually.
Yeah,
in
I
the
saw
store.
that over there.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Him playing hoops. Yeah, it's one of my favorite shirts, if not my favorite overall shirt. And we got to watch Adam when he performed at Heritage Bank Center
Yep.
about a year and a half ago. But here's the thing. Adam moves as organically and himself as any celebrity does.
Oh yeah, like the clothes he
Yeah.
wears is just like
he's
what
a regular
everyone
guy,
else would wear.
right? Yeah, I mean, even when we got to see him perform at Heritage Bank Center, he walks out on stage. I'll set the environment. He walks out on stage in front of, let's say, 20,000 people, whatever.
Okay.
There's an arena full of people. Everyone is there with their cameras out, flashes on. Everyone, you can definitely tell everyone's waiting for his first words, and he's just like, hi.
Yeah.
And he's in sweats. He's in sweatpants, sweatshirt, like a hoodie, jeans. I'm pretty sure it was just a basic clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm Adam Sandler. As soon as he says that, like on the most minuscule, he didn't even put anything like, hey guys, Adam Sandler, we're going to have a great night. No, he's like, hey, I'm Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell some jokes and play some music. Crowd just roars. I've never heard a roar in any stadium in my life. And I grew up going to big sporting events and spending my time in arenas. And that moment, I got the most elite level cold chills. Because just because one man can step on a stage by himself and just be like, hi, here's my name. We're going to do some stuff tonight.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy it. And then people are just like, it is. It was a sea of people. I couldn't believe anything like that. But Adam carries himself like he just owns the room and anything. He just is. And when he's out in public, he does play. He plays hoops with people.
Yeah.
He'll literally go on a basketball court.
Yeah, he played after that performance at Heritage Bank. He went to UC, which is where I used to go. After I left, I saw on UC's Instagram that he was playing basketball at the rec center with students.
That's so cool.
I was like, I miss my chance to play basketball with Adam Sandler.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I love Adam Sandler. I've watched every single movie he's ever put out.
Grown Ups is possibly my favorite.
Grown Ups is the best.
I will always say it, and I'll stick to my guns. My favorite is probably outside of. I mean, of course, I love Happy Gilmore. Of course, I love Billy Madison.
There is a second Happy Gilmore coming out. They're
is.
starting to film.
Yeah, he's been talking about that for a long time. But Lil Nicky,
I love Little
yes.
Nicky.
Lil Nicky.
You are the only person that I've met that has watched Little Nicky, and it's so funny.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Lil Nicky's one of the best Adam Sandler movies to date, for sure, in my opinion.
See,
So,
I think another celebrity that's like that, in my opinion, is like Post Malone. Like Post Malone, like when he first started out, he was getting really popular. He kind of went like the normal like rapper route, but then like now he's just like he's chill. He wears like what like Adam Sandler wears. He wears like what everyone else wears, and it's so cool to see because like Post Malone, he just seems like such a chill dude. He
Yep.
just seems like the coolest guy to just sit down and just like have a genuine conversation with.
yeah, I think that's because of his come up was a little different than your average, A-list celebrity.
Yeah.
Because he put in a lot of time and a lot of effort to get to where he was, but he seemingly popped up overnight because of his success on, SoundCloud and everything like
Yeah.
that. So because his success came at everyone tries to get signed because of SoundCloud, but it's really unconventional to really make it through SoundCloud.
It's just like there's some. It's like
So
especially recently. There's like a lot of big examples, like Post Malone, Juice, X, like Ski Mask. Like it's just because it's been so. I mean, even like rappers people don't like Lil Pump. Like they
Yeah.
started on SoundCloud and they got huge, but it's
Right.
like for one of them, there's 10,000 others who are
Yep.
just still only on SoundCloud who have yet to be discovered.
Yeah, and it's a great platform, but it is limited to certain amount. It's like gatekeeping so many different artists
Oh, yeah.
because it can't get past that wall. But Post Malone broke through, essentially woke up famous. White Iverson and the rest is history. Congratulations came out, and he was just off to the moon, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason I think he's so chill is because it's part of his
Demeanor.
and
Yeah.
it's part of what he's selling.
Yep.
So you got to think about it. Like he could go the route of I'm gonna be
Cool guy
exceptional.
with the glasses on,
Yeah.
but he's not. He's the guy that trades shoes with somebody in the crowd that's got
Yes.
a pair of shoes for him.
Yeah, kind of like Shaq.
Yeah, 100%.
Kind of like taking like everyone is included. We can even have a Bud Light together. I
Yeah.
love Bud Light. They love Bud Light. I'm representing Bud Light. Let's have a Bud together. So he is that everyday, every man's guy, which is part of his allure because he also has face tattoos. He's really unconventional in how he looks as a celebrity. So he's not only looking unconventional, but he's being everyday. He's hitting.
I don't think he is the everyday guy. I think
He
he's
isn't, yeah.
trying to be the everyday guy.
Yeah.
and that's what's working for him.
It is working for him, but I think it's part of his plan. I think there's a whole business plan with
Oh,
Built
for
to Get,
sure.
because that's all completely orchestrated in the sense of like you do this
There's
well.
there's only one person doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like there's not there. Who Boozy is the other guy that's
but
trying
he's
to
a
do
plant.
rap country and trying to follow
Yeah,
up
he's-
in what Post is done.
I'm telling you, there's so much evidence.
Oh, for sure. But Post has gone from rap music to like country music
Jelly Roll.
without a hitch, bro. It was like he was boosted to that position almost.
Yeah, and I hate this to be the one of those people that say it, but like I've been calling him his country transition since I first found out he was a big fan of Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
You know, when I found out he was that, I was like, one day Post is going to be doing some country music. It's just a matter of time. Let Taylor Swift do her thing. Let Morgan Wallen continue to do his thing. It won't matter of time before him and Morgan Wallen do a song. I said that on this podcast, and you know, look at him now. You know, it is part of his. It is part of who he is because he is well versed, and he's so talented, and his voice kind of bridges every gap.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing he can do. He can rap. He can sing. He can even do like nursery rhyme vibes, like kind of like a Kyle.
He can hold a note, bro.
You know what I mean? Like Lil Yachty. Those guys are doing all these different things. He fits right in with them.
Oh, yeah.
But yet he's able to like be cool.
He can be everywhere.
He can be everywhere with everyone at all
It's
times.
because he's grateful, bro. At the end of the
He's
day,
grateful.
he's always saying thank you. Like he's like that's probably his most famous word is thank you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he knows that he's living on borrowed time, being in that position, and he's just grateful for being there, bro. It's it's so amazing seeing somebody that he was probably an outcast in high school. You saw photos of what he looked like, and you know, according to everybody's high school recollections, like no one that looks like Post Malone as a junior is the popular guy.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
He's not
So,
traditionally
like,
the quarterback. Yeah.
To see him go from that to being bigger than any quarterback that school's ever had is fucking incredible for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, for sure. And even beyond even that, not only did he success all the people from, his childhood or whatever, he has stayed. Safe sex. He's humble, and he's just someone that you could have a Bud Light with.
Yeah. I think another thing is that like as you were saying earlier, like you were saying like Post like traded shoes with someone in the crowd. Like the first person I thought when he said it was like Travis Scott. Like, Travis is one of those rappers where it's like, oh, he has the nice cars and stuff, but like fans have given him hats and he still wears the hat all the time.
Oh, bro, he loves them Stussy joints when he takes them from people.
Yeah, and he like gives his fans like here's early shoes. They're not released yet. He's like here's a signature, like
Don't sell it. Yeah, he even writes "don't sell" on some of the shit when he
And
signs it.
It's so cool because Travis he's had his fair share of controversy, and Travis has done his own stuff, and he's kind of like how every rapper is. He's got the nice cars, nice shoes, and everything like that. But like at the end
Brand
of the day,
deals, bro. Brand deals.
He survived someone dying at his event. That's
Multiple people
wild.
dying.
That is wild that
Yeah.
he didn't get
I mean-
canceled at all.
I mean,
he did get
People-
canceled,
He
but
did,
like
but canceling is an interesting term because how long does that last?
but the same shit
Some
happened
people-
to Ariana Grande, and no one even came to try to cancel her. You know what I mean? Like they blame it on Travis Scott because it's rap trap music. So it's
Rap,
like,
yeah.
oh, it's obviously like that's the reason why they died is because of the music that he's playing. Like no, like people have died in fucking at the Rolling Stones events. You know what I mean? Like you guys hold the Rolling Stones at such a high fucking pedestal. Like here in Cincinnati, fucking how many people were trampled and killed?
oh yeah, and that one
Should
like,
have 10-year-old at the
building
event.
or whatever.
Was it Rolling Stones or the Who? It might have been the Who.
I think it was the Who.
Yeah, but still, it's like they weren't out trying to cause any fucking trouble or they're not thugs out doing
Something
rap
happened,
music.
and it was just an accident. It was a horrible accident.
Yeah. All right, man. I want to play this real quick because this is the moment that somebody reads the lyrics back to Lil Wayne and he doesn't even remember it.
So that's what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be pissed. This might be my favorite Wayne line of all time, personally. This last one was fire. All right, here we go. Safe sex is great sex. Better wear latex. Because you don't want that latex that I think I'm latex. Oh!
He said, "I said that."
I said that. Why? I said it.
That was on Lollipop of all songs, and even fucking Lil Wayne was like, "I said that."
Yeah.
Like, bro, that was one of the most popular songs of all time.
Yeah, you better remember that.
Yeah.
He reads over his own lyrics before he goes. He says he'll reverse and he'll check on his lyrics that he doesn't remember before he gets on. He'll literally. There was one he was doing a song. He's like, I had to read my lyrics back to make sure I remembered them.
That's crazy.
That's crazy to think you have to go back and do research on your own words.
Right.
Like,
Well,
come on, bro.
Remember the song with like Drake, Lil Wayne, Eminem, and everyone was in the one song? Eminem put his verse in, and everyone was just like, "We're redoing our lines."
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what was the. I don't really remember what the song was.
What was that? I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
hold on. I'm gonna see if I
But
can find
Eminem
it
just
real quick.
stands above everybody.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I know Eminem and Lil Wayne had their back and forth, but
Yeah.
Eminem is he is the ultimate wordsmith.
Oh yeah.
And he not only is a wordsmith, he like comes at people and they can't even match his energy. They
No.
can't come at him like he can come at them.
Yeah.
Like
Ever.
the MGK one.
Yeah,
Uh,
MGK didn't stand
Forever.
a chance.
That's the
Oh,
song.
no.
Was
Didn't
it's
stand a
Forever.
chance. Forever?
Yeah. But yeah, it's like MGK went after him, you know. Lil Pump, Lil Xan, they went after him, and then Lil Xan stopped doing music entirely.
That's gonna be the biggest win
Yeah.
Eminem has ever
Yeah.
received.
he didn't even make a song. He just said something, and Eminem was like, "And career's over."
Yeah.
And then MGK went after him, and I'm not gonna lie, MGK's song, it's fun to listen to. It's supposed to be a song that you can just play, but Eminem's diss track is just pure hatred.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about.
Do you
both
think
of
that
them.
was orchestrated?
What, like Eminem's pure hatred or
No,
MGK's?
I think. Do you think that? Sorry to throw.
No, you're good.
No, you're
Do you think that those rap battles, the beef, is a little bit more orchestrated than you may actually realize? And then
no.
because Eminem doesn't need MGK,
Yeah.
right? Eminem doesn't benefit from MGK's thing, but Eminem does benefit if Eminem's not in the mouths of anybody at this time.
Yeah.
So if Eminem's not being talked about, why not get talked about with a beef by somebody who is talked about?
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit more orchestrated than we might be talk about, because why do they need to have a beef? You know, they're not even from the same. There's no those two don't relate on any front, like other than the fact that they
Well,
both
there
rap over beats.
Well, there was
I mean,
actually the little bit of beef that was with them was
A little
MGK. Well, yeah. Well, MGK had gotten denied from Shady Records, and it was because they said like, oh, it was over a tweet you put about Eminem's daughter. Eminem didn't even know about the tweet, so it wasn't even him that denied it. But MGK's like, oh, I hate Eminem for this. So it was like on a Tech Nine song, he made a diss, and I mean Eminem was working on an album anyways, and he's like, okay, let me clap back at this, and then MGK made the song. But I agree. I think some of them are definitely orchestrated, but like some of the ones that you hear, it's like I don't think that's orchestrated. Especially like the new like Kendrick and Drake one. There's no way that was orchestrated.
I don't think necessarily
It was under the same label though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, which you know, I don't know if it's orchestrated or not, because Drake has been quiet as a goddamn church mouse for fucking 6 months afterwards.
He has been, dude.
You know what
He
I
has
mean?
been. When was the last time he released a song? 'Cause I don't think it was
He
that
ain't,
one.
he ain't said shit since fucking Kendrick Lamar said he's hitting that chord A minor.
Yeah.
Last song was No Face in August. So he put out a song 2 months ago. Actually, that'd be 4 months ago. Wait, August.
Yeah.
We're in November.
Yeah.
September,
4
October, November,
3 months
Yeah,
ago.
3 months.
Yeah.
I got it in between. Close enough.
Yeah, but I don't think that orchestrating necessarily is. We're not trying to make people like either or.
Yeah.
We're trying to create controversy.
Oh, yeah.
So the orchestrated may not be
And
these are best friends behind the scenes.
And at the end of the day, that label has the two top competing artists.
Yeah.
Like that's the best juxtaposition you can ever come across is like these two people are fighting each other and everyone's listening, and at the end of the day, it's all going to the same bank account.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
They're choosing sides, but really it's the same side.
But I mean, I mean, if it
Ed
was,
Hardy and Von Dutch, bro.
Yup.
I mean, the other thing with like the MGK stuff is like if it was orchestrated, I think MGK would have stayed in rap. But at the same time, I know MGK had wanted to change directions on what he wanted the music to go to, so I could see it being orchestrated. But I can also kind of see it as, okay, if it's not orchestrated, if it wasn't orchestrated, he's like, now's a good time for me to drop rap and go to a different genre that I've wanted to be a part of, which I think
Which doubles down.
Yeah,
I think-
his genre-
Which doubles
I
down
think-
my
I
point
think-
because if you're going to change genres
Yeah.
and you're going to do a flip entirely, why not get everyone in their mouths talking
Yeah.
about you, and all of a sudden when you drop something new, now it's highlighted even more because you just got out of a beef, and because you just got out of a beef and you're doing a different genre, the fire is kind of
Oh, yeah,
low.
I agree.
So now he's not in so much turmoil, but he's in everyone's mouths because he's going against Eminem, and Eminem is on the top of the. Eminem's above the mountain, bro. Eminem's on
He's the new peak.
like
He's
Dragon
embedded
Ball
into the mountain.
Literally, Dragon Ball Z, like the cloud that Goku rides
Yeah,
on.
the
He's
Nimbus
literally
cloud,
on exactly Nimbus cloud. He's exactly on the cloud above the mountain because Eminem is just on a stratosphere that no one. He was at a time. I mean, he got Slim Shady. You know, and he's taken all these different entities and he's brought them all to the top of the mountain individually.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, all right, I'm also standing at the top. You know, like, and to bring MGK into the conversation, Eminem doesn't need MGK's existence for anything.
No, absolutely not.
But
I mean, he
MG
even said that.
Right, but if MGK's planning on jumping genres,
He needed Eminem.
he needed something to create buzz so people gave a shit.
Yeah.
Because if you go from rap to pop punk, no one cares, bro. No, like MGK, you're washed up is what people are gonna say.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna say it if you're in everyone's mouths because of a controversy that just
Yeah.
happened 2 months earlier.
And then not to mention,
Yeah.
like, right now, I think him doing pop punk is the best he's done. He actually sounds good for
Yeah.
pop punk. So I think
Oh,
he
yeah.
realized that he wanted to do it, and he's like, okay, well, maybe, like, Eminem wasn't coerced. Maybe Eminem's like, who the fuck is this? Like, why is he coming after me? And MGK's like, my plan is falling into place.
He needed the plan. I
Yeah.
think that's important. I mean, plus when you're working with Travis Barker, you know, of Blink 182.
Oh, yeah.
You're working with the right people. You're also going to get that, you know, boost. But I think the beef between him and Eminem was part of MGK's
It was his plan.
part of his shooting for the, you know, for the stratosphere on another genre. And he went to a different genre, so he wasn't really competing after that for a
Yeah.
while. You know, like Rap Devil and everything like that just kind of came and went, and people
Yeah.
kind of moved on pretty fast. Because that's as a society, we move on so
Oh,
quick,
absolutely.
as
Yeah,
quick as a
100%.
swipe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's say the next swipe after the beef is MGK be like, "Oh, I'm doing this new thing. Oh, this is the new conversation."
Oh, yeah.
He was just rapping with Eminem just last week. Oh, that's old news, man. Check out his new stuff, his new video. That doesn't even matter because
Yeah.
people who care are gonna defend him because
Yeah.
it's all about having your loyal fan base to defend you amongst the crowd.
Yeah.
These artists are hoping that people defend them. You know what I mean? They need that conversation to be, you know, him versus him. You know, versus it's all ploy. Like you said, Drake and Kendrick is like that. That's the same label.
Yeah.
They're battling each other within the confines of the arena.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The label owns the arena.
At the end of the day, the label wins.
Oh,
The label
absolutely.
wins.
Regardless, even though Drake lost that, the label won. You know what I mean?
label.
Because Drake's still going to be Drake. He's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
People are still
he's
be
not-
bumping his music. It's like he's got classics.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I don't like Drake, but like even I have to agree. Like I've never liked Drake's music, but like even I have to agree. There are some classics.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and, he's got some great songs, man. A lot of them are, you know, old Drake is dope. Old Drake is dope, but he started getting too like Loverboy, like trying to play too much like into the female demographic, and it's like we just want the old Drake,
Yeah.
just like we want the old Kanye.
Yeah. People were like,
Yeah.
and then the Chris Brown thing, like Chris. I mean, he just going. They're blending so many into all these different. Like when they were like doing the dance battle in that video and stuff,
Yeah.
like stuff like that is like, yeah, you're trying to be funny and you're trying to.
That music video Andrew Listerman made.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the music
Full
video
circle.
with Chris Brown and Drake where they're like at the end of the video they're like a dance battle
Yeah.
And
okay.
so Chris Brown's doing his dances, and then all of a sudden Drake's like, "Ooh,"
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
That
I mean, that's a
was
terrible
the
dance.
the guy that commented earlier. He was the one that made that music video for him.
That's crazy.
actually
Yeah, he was
cool.
in it. Yep.
But I do want to talk about
Before we log off.
before we get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been
Who
going
you-
for a while.
Who you got?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Who you got?
Who do I got?
November 15th. Who do you got?
Oh,
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, bro. Who you got?
I think the clear winner is Mike Tyson. I think he's gonna. There's gonna be, like this shirt said, there's gonna be a murder,
Oh, absolutely.
and I think that Mike
Live on
Tyson,
TV. There's gonna be a
live on
murder
Netflix.
live on TV.
and I will be at my house watching it from the comfort of my own home as Jake Paul goes in there and gets a glove or two
Look
to the
I-
cheek.
So here's my thought process. Jake is a phenomenal boxer.
He is.
Oh,
But there's Mike Tyson on the
people
other side.
don't give him credit because of where he came from. But
He
this
came from
dude's
Disney
got
Channel, didn't he?
this dude's
He
got
did.
so much money that he's got a boxing ring in his backyard. He's got personal trainers. He's doing the right moves to compete with Mike Tyson. The problem is you can't prepare like Mike does.
For that power.
Like, well, the reason why Mike doesn't box anymore is because he's afraid of the person that he becomes when he's in the ring. That's why he bit off fucking Holyfield's ear,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Like he's like I'm a fucking like when I get in the ring I'm scared. You know, like if you saw his sparring 1 week ago, his sparring partner was bigger than he was, and he dropped his sparring partner, and his Tyson's trainer came in and said, "Mike, that's enough for today. That's enough for today." And Mike looks at him and goes, "Are you sure?" And he's dripping, bro. It looks like he's crying. There's so much sweat dropping off his face. And his trainer's like, "Yeah, that's it for the day." And he goes, "Are you fucking sure?" It's crazy to see that like I'm sure his sparring partner is probably one of his best friends, but he was on the verge of murdering this dude and didn't want to stop until his trainer came in and said, "That's enough. That's enough, Mike. That's enough." And Mike didn't want to stop, bro. Like he is the human version of a fucking tiger inside that cage. Like the only way you're gonna kill him is going for the jugular, because Tyson's not gonna lose. He's not gonna get knocked down. And so like when they
our point
first
system.
so one of my cousin is on Jake Paul's team. He's like part of the whole crew.
Whoa.
And so like we see a lot of the stuff that goes on, and at the end of the day, bro, like it doesn't matter how much training you have. Like they've leveled the playing field with the 2 minutes per round instead of 3. They know that Mike isn't fucking 3 minutes per round when you go even 6 rounds is fucking tiring. So they're doing 2-minute rounds. They dropped it down to 14-ounce gloves, which I think is fucking phenomenal, because they had 18-ounce gloves in the beginning, which is basically no one's getting knocked out.
Yeah.
12-ounce gloves is where boxers usually sit at, 12-ounce. So they're 2 ounces more padding, not 8 ounce, not fucking 6 ounces more padding. You know what I mean? So there's a chance that someone's going to get knocked out. Jake's a great fighter, but Tyson is Mike Tyson, bro. There's a reason why he's the baddest dude on the planet.
Yes, he is.
You know.
So, do you think a point system, Jake has a chance?
Even with point system.
No, I don't know. It's not it's not going to go the distance. It's not going to go. It's either Tyson's going to knock Jake out within the first 2 rounds,
Okay.
or Tyson tires out at the 5th round or 6th round, and then I don't even see Tyson getting dropped. Honestly, like I physically don't see Tyson getting like. I'm a Jake Paul fan. I'm a fan of his boxing. I think like back when people were calling him fucking trash, like I was like this kid's got it. Like people don't realize that his stance and stamina and like his feet are rooted into the ground when he's swinging, bro. Like he's got such a base when he throws them power punches, but so does Tyson. And Tyson knows how to. Tyson will be 70 to 80 years old and still be able to avoid every punch you throw at him, because he's got that that's how Tyson fights, bro. He never stays fucking like you'll never be able to fucking to pinpoint where his head's gonna be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be an amazing fight.
Who do you got?
Tyson. I think you know Tyson 4 rounds.
Tyson.
I think Tyson 2 rounds. I think first round it is a feel out, and second is actually I don't even think the first round is a feel out. I think Tyson's going to go in for the murder within the first 10 seconds of the fight, and then it's going to level out, and then within the second or third round, Tyson's going to figure out where the loophole is on hitting Jake's chin. He's so good at hitting that lights out button, bro. So good at hitting that lights out button.
So do you think there's going to be a knockout?
I hope so. I sure the fuck hope so.
So for me personally, I think this is how it's going to go. First round, Jake Paul's going to go and swing it. He's going to try. He knows if he doesn't get Mike Tyson out within the first 2 rounds, he's done. Mm-hmm. So I think first, maybe even second round, he's going to go. He's going to try and put Mike Tyson on the defensive. He's going to try. Third round's going to hit. If he doesn't get Mike Tyson's going to realize what he's doing, and he's going to put Jake on the defensive.
Yeah.
And either third or fourth round, Jake's out.
Yeah, I think Jake's definitely going to be defense most of the time.
Yeah, but he's going to be
Mike
aggressive
Tyson's
early
just
on.
Too fast.
I don't think he's gonna be aggressive early on. I think if he is aggressive early on, it's gonna be a huge mistake.
Yeah, but
huge mistake because there's so many people that get into the ring with Tyson that know, like, I've got to act now, because just like the video game, he gets one punch off, and if I'm not prepared, I'm done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you know, I think there's a lot of people that are gonna try to feel it out and be prepared, but I don't. I think Jake Paul is going to try to stay more calm and collected to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
But Tyson's been doing this since he's 17 years old.
Tyson's a career boxer, where Jake is in it now, and I agree that I really respect what Jake's done in the ring. But as a career boxer, competing with someone that's how many bouts does Jake have? Was it
under 10, under 12, I think, and then Tyson's got at least 47.
Yeah, Tyson's he's got all the experience, and Jake is going to have to really just be swift with it. But I mean, you're going to have to. I mean, if you get
Jake's had 11 fights with 10 wins, but he also almost got knocked out on the weigh-ins. I don't know if you saw that. Was it him and Tommy Fury?
I think so, yeah.
And it was somebody clocked him in the jaw, bro, and both of his legs went stiff, where he was like trying to not fall,
balance himself.
Oh, dude, it was like I was like, was that? Did he do that for real? Was that a joke? And then I had to rewind and oh, he got clipped. He got clipped, bro. Where his entire body just went from muscle to fucking Mr. Bean, where he was just fucking. Ooh, it's a race. It was like, what the fuck, man?
That's funny.
All right, so Jake's had 11 fights with 10 wins, and Tyson
only lost what? He's only lost a handful of times, right?
50-6.
50-6. This is 50.
How many knockouts?
Oh,
48.
Wins. So you think
two people survived?
Two people went the distance.
2 people survived.
What do you guys think? Out of 50 wins, how many of them did he fucking just put to the canvas?
I want to say 49. I for some reason I feel like the number 49 is ringing in my head.
I was gonna say half, like 25 probably.
44, bro.
Oh wow!
I was 4 off.
He's batting 88% knockout rate.
Good on him.
88% knockout rate, bro. And this is 56 fighters that are legit boxers. You know what I mean? That have been in the ring, not these like
Amateurs.
amateur fights. Which I definitely wouldn't consider Jake Paul an amateur
No, me
by
either.
any means.
I wouldn't consider him amateur either. I will consider him not quite a career boxer like
For sure.
Mike Tyson, but he's definitely not an amateur. But to step in the ring with Mike Tyson, it's coming to the point where it's beyond just clicks, bro.
Oh, 100%,
like
dude.
you're
So
passing the point of like, you've already passed the clickbait after we first talked about this.
So what's bigger? Dumb question. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, or Tyson versus Jake Paul?
Oh, that's that.
I think Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Tyson versus anybody is a better decision.
Because don't get me wrong, Mayweather is who he is, and he is the money. He makes
And
that money.
Logan Paul's super impressive. Like I
Sure.
think Logan Paul is more impressive than Jake.
I also agree, but Mike Tyson is that guy, and he was in The Hangover, so everyone has him still in their. He's socially.
Did you
There's so much that he's got.
Did you
Money
hear
Mayweather's-
his interview on how coked out he was fucking for
that filming?
for The Hangover? He was like, "Listen to my voice, man." And like it was, I had all coke in my nose, and you can hear it like when I'm talking. Like it was, he was like, I was so out of shape, I was overweight, I was fat, I was coked out of my mind. Like
It's part of the movie. It's funny.
it is funny.
It is funny. It was a great scene. That tiger. Speaking of tigers, before we get out of here too, have you got any comments, any messages from after our Tiger King interview? Anything like that? I've gotten definitely some messages online. People asking me like why I did it or why we, like, you know what I mean?
No,
Nothing.
no.
No messages.
People are mad you had a conversation with a human being.
Yeah. I was like, we're just giving him a voice. I mean,
Hold on. So people are mad at you because you had a conversation with a human being?
They are. They thought it was. Someone told me it was disgusting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like,
Speaking with human beings, disgusting these days.
right. I was like, why can't we give someone a voice? And you saw him in a certain light on a documentary that was supposed to paint him as he said,
A hit piece.
So maybe you should watch the interview and get a new insight.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion for anyone who thinks of
Not
so negative.
not judge off of something you saw off of a one-sided Netflix documentary
exactly.
that came out 2 years after he was already in jail.
That he couldn't control. It was sold away. $2.6 million was made to his now ex-husband,
Yeah.
who ran away, and no one's heard from him since. That must say something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But when someone told me that, I was like, oh, that's what you think of that. And they're like, well, and they don't have anything against me. They're like, you're promoting your business, whatever. But they were very loud in the comments, and I was just like, all right, well, that's cool. Well, you should give this person an opportunity to speak their mind. We all deserve to be heard. Wouldn't you want to be heard if you were thrown away in jail and put in solitary confinement for 2 years and 8 months? I'm sure you want to be heard as well.
Would you be upset with us if we interviewed the Menendez brothers? Because it's a hot topic right now, right? And the Menendez brothers, everybody wants them free because they were sexually abused, supposedly. Fucking 30 years later, it's coming out. So would you be okay with us interviewing them to get their side of the view? Probably.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be okay with Joe Exotic because the way that they painted him. And when you look into it, the whole Big Cat Rescue, like the fact that Carol Baskin is behind the whole Big Cat Rescue Act it's a monopoly. It's complete bullshit.
Yeah, and she's the only one that can actually
That's
euthanize
like-
tigers now.
That's
It's
like that.
wild.
That's like me. That's like me being in a category where I have the right to tell other brands what clothes they're allowed to use, except for me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like nope, no, you can't use Comfort Colors or you can't use American Apparel.
yep.
It's against the rules.
Right. Exactly. But I'm gonna use them.
But I'm gonna use them because I like it.
I
We
like.
can't use paint splatter on the brand new hats.
Exactly.
Speaking of those beautiful gems,
beautiful hat. Show it off real quick. Show it off.
yeah, let's
You guys
go,
were
bro.
the first ones.
That
too.
was number 1 of 50 and number 2 of 50 right
Yeah,
there.
Hold those up
And-
one more time for me.
And those
Appreciate you,
are
Bear.
there's only 50 of them available.
we can
So
put it
if
on
you
it.
guys
We
want to get a hold of
Why
them,
not?
we have them here at the store or online at thenativebrand.com. But the that shit is absolutely fire. So those are the 513 ones. We've got 859 ones coming Thursday. And then next week we've got some Dare versions coming of the splatter
I'm excited
hat.
for that.
Me too.
I'm excited for all the hats that are coming. I just hope they come for whatever reason tomorrow. I just hope that the mailman's like, get them in there.
Yeah.
Got to get in before 5 o'clock. Make sure these guys are happy. And then we get them, and then we get who is coming tomorrow. I wonder. I hope Chase Brown. This is a whole other topic. Every Wednesday and last Monday, Bengals players have been coming to the levee. I don't know if you guys knew that, but Bengals players come to the levee for Fox 19. They answer questions. They play games. There's a crowd here. They put out chairs. So it's a whole thing every Wednesday night. So if you want to see some Bengals players, come to the levee Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. And they've been bringing different people each and every week. It's kind of been fronted by, or like spearheaded, I guess you will, by Cam Taylor-Britt, you know, cornerback for the Bengals. But yeah, like, you know, we've had Orlando Brown Jr., we've had
Ted Karras. Dax Hill.
I've got a lot of signatures. Let me look those up.
Fucking Yoshi Voss was here last week.
Voss. Yeah, we had, dude, I'm telling you what, we've had so many signatures, and we even missed some. I mean, we had Dax Hill was here. We had Chris Evans, Nate Brooks, I think Josh Newton, Tyson Anderson was here. They've had a lot of people, and Yoshi, of course, because he really is a well-spoken dude. I was actually
Yeah.
really impressed by Yoshi.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I actually
Princeton, bro.
Princeton.
Crazy.
Here,
So
I got a good question for you guys.
Sure, what's up?
Because I know you guys want to wrap it up soon, but here's a good question. Who is your dream person, dream celebrity to get on the podcast?
Yep.
Oh, I like that.
dream celebrity.
That's a really good question because it's obviously they got to be alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have been Pete. I would love to have Pete Rose on the couch, but
Yeah.
We'll say one dead, one alive. How about that? I think that'll kind of expand it. If you could bring like one person back from the dead to have a conversation with on the podcast.
from entirely in existence. But I would love to. I mean, so are we talking local people or national?
We'll say national celebrities.
Okay.
So like,
Yeah. Don't limit yourself. They just can't be dead.
I'll say we'll do one dead, one alive, because I feel like when you say like, oh, this person's dead, but like imagine a podcast with them, like say like
Yeah.
MJ, that'd be such a phenomenal podcast.
Okay. Got you. Dead or alive? I'll go first. Alive. Man, I would love to have Charlie Sheen on.
Charlie Sheen be fire.
I think Charlie Sheen on that couch and just talking about his experience with 2.5 Men
Yep.
and just all the stuff he went with through winning, and then his relationship with Emilio Estevez and all that connection. I think that would be cool. We could do 2 for 1. I think Emilio would probably come with him, and on a dead front, like someone who is passed. I probably would say. I'd love to talk to Elvis.
Ooh, that's a good one.
If I'm going to go way back, I would talk to Elvis for my grandmother. I think she passed, but just to get just Elvis's take on, he went through such a controversial time where they wouldn't even show his hips.
Yeah.
And to live in that time, and now we got TikTok dancing where that is the point of the video, is to show their hips.
Yeah.
So I think that world,
Great answer, bro.
I think
Great
those two people, I would say.
I was thinking Frank Sinatra, but I still think that's probably a better fucking because like Frank Sinatra would be cool because you'd be able to have a cool conversation about the 50s and 60s, but getting to the root of it on like actually understanding, like, bro, like they wouldn't play you on TV because you were shaking your hips.
Bro, he broke the internet before the internet.
Yeah.
He
broke the TV.
He broke the TV. Literally, they wouldn't even put him on the TV in his full capacity.
Yeah.
And he's got so many. He was a lover
I
boy.
think, yeah,
He was a rock star.
You got me beat, bro. You got me beat because that dead character is definitely fucking. Even Charlie Sheen, Charlie Sheen be phenomenal.
I
on the
think he'd be an
couch.
amazing guest. I've thought about him since day one. I was like, if Charlie Sheen could sit on that, because you mentioned Emilio Estevez early, and I remember when you mentioned that, you're like, here, let me tell you the story of this. I'm like, what? So does that mean, yeah, the whole Sheen family, they all of them have the merch. The mom and dad, apparently, they all have some.
Mom loves the zip ups, bro. She
Yeah.
loves zip up hoodies.
Right, so they all have it, which means Charlie Sheen isn't off the table, other than the fact
And
that
he
he's
loves
the
Cincy,
A-list.
bro.
Yeah, does he? Okay.
Loves. Oh, you don't know that? Since he's his team, dude.
Oh, the team.
He's
the
always
city
here
itself.
for the Reds.
Okay.
Always here for the Reds.
Okay. So he comes here often. So that's even better. Reds play on Tuesdays sometimes.
And his brother lives in OTR.
Look what you guys started. Look what you guys started.
Hey,
Not
man.
me. Don't put
Hey,
me.
Emilio
in
lives
this.
here.
That was him.
Yeah. Emilio lives here. Okay.
He's got a studio in OTR now. I mean, it might not be permanent because he has a family still out in Malibu, but yeah, definitely has a house here.
Yeah. So those would be mine. I think Frank Sinatra would be sick though. So
Frank Sinatra would be incredible.
who's living that you?
Sammy Davis Jr. might be better though. Like interviewing Sammy back in the 50s, like
Okay.
when nobody respected black people except for like he was rolling with fucking the Crew. And so like all these white women were like, ooh, fucking ooh, look at him. You know what I mean?
Living, who would make this podcast? Elon.
I was gonna say Elon,
I
but
can see it. I can see it in your
more.
eye, bro.
It's more that's too predictable.
Yeah,
that's too
that's also us
predictable.
spending way too much time together. I was like, I could see Elon in your
Yeah,
eyes.
like that was.
I can see his,
you
I can
literally
see his
like read.
face
You
in your-
read that.
I can see.
Did I look up into the sky
like
or
into the
something? Like, how
space,
did you figure that
there's
out?
Elon, yeah.
Yeah, like looked up, like
Starlink.
looked up at Mars.
The little twinkle
I
in
can-
his eyes, the Tesla logo.
I could see it, dude. I literally could
All right,
see
I got it. My living person that I would like to interview, Tim Burton.
Oh, good
Tim
answer.
That's a
Burton.
good one.
That is a good
waiting on
because
that
he's worked with
text.
everyone.
That is
Johnny Depp because we had the candles.
Oh,
we
dude,
had the candles,
That
so
is
we
such a loaded podcast.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
That's a great.
Such a
one.
loaded podcast. You know what? And to be honest with you, man, I want dead character. It had to be Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about Pee Wee.
Yeah.
But I was gonna let you say that. So I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Don't say that. Go to the next one.
Pee Wee Herman would definitely be my dead interview. That was, you know, like you know what's crazy, bro? So I'm 43 now at my 40th birthday. Like actually even so me and Kayla have been together for 10 years and when we first started dating, I was like, look, the only thing that you need to do for my 40th is get Pee Wee Herman there. Like that's it. You know what I mean? Like he's not doing anything. Like at the time Pee Wee was just kicking it. And I'm like, that's all I want. Like just reach out to him. You know what I mean? Like if I got to pay to get him here as a surprise for me, like I will pay my own surprise.
He's on. Speaking of which,
Hey, Kaylin, we're just talking about Pee Wee Herman. She's hopping on right now, checking to see.
when you'll be home.
Yeah, if we're still live. I love you, babe. We'll be home.
We'll be done soon.
Yeah, we're about to. This is actually the last question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Though. I
So
wasn't expecting it.
Pee Wee Herman would be my dead character that I would interview because he created the character on his own. You know, it was very risque back in like the early '80s, dude, and it was very sexual too, which is crazy. But to be able to turn that into a children's TV show, and if you actually know the story about Pee Wee Herman, this is crazy. So you guys know who Pee Wee Herman is, right?
Yeah.
All right. So ABC paid this dude so much money in the early 80s because Saturday morning cartoons came out and NBC and CBS had the lock on all the cartoons. So ABC paid Pee Wee Herman $800,000 a week, which is insane in the 80s. But the stipulation was you're Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Like when you go home, you're Pee Wee Herman. When you go to the grocery store, you're Pee Wee Herman. When you go to get gas, you're Pee Wee Herman. You have to wear the suit all the time. If anybody comes up to you, you're not Paul Rubin. You are Pee Wee Herman. That's who you are at all times. And it was the biggest contract in history for any actor on television. $800,000 a week. And
How do you even spin that?
bro, I mean, he didn't have to, right? Like he ended up getting busted for jerking off in Sarasota, like afterwards, and even that, like I'm a big Pee Wee Herman fan, bro. He was gonna take that to court because the police officer that caught him said he was jerking off with his right hand, and Pee Wee Herman's left-handed, so the chances of him jerking with the opposite hand is 10%. Like it's a 90% chance. Like
We talked about that.
we already like you're like I'm that 10%, bro.
I am. That door keeps opening. It's
Yeah,
annoying.
we've been noticing that every
Very
once in
creepy.
a while.
It drives me crazy. It
There's a
doesn't.
ghost over there.
No, I don't know what is the reason for that door opening on its own, but
Battery might be dying in one of them.
yeah. But when it makes the
pads.
sound, it's just like
Yeah.
when it's like, who is walking through right now?
All right. So real quick. So real quick, man.
On to the next.
Matt and Tyler, bro. Dead person you'd
knew
want to
that was coming,
interview,
yeah.
and
Gotta
did you,
get it, yeah.
did you guys already say it? You guys didn't
No,
say
we
it.
didn't
yet.
say it. No,
Cool.
no, no, no.
No.
All right, I want to hear it.
Dead, you know, I'd probably just have to go with Juice World. You know,
I had a feeling.
Yeah, I love Juice World. You know, I was gonna pick MJ, but I'm like, I feel like MJ's story it's been changed so much, and I feel like especially in recent years, people have realized a lot of things that were said about him were false. So I feel like his true story's been out there, but like Juice died so young that we didn't really get to know Juice all that much.
Sure.
And that hurts because like his music is phenomenal, his message is phenomenal. Like, you know, him as a person, we just didn't get to experience it as much as we could have.
What do you think that because he did pass at such a young age that he spent all his time in a studio? What's the conversation gonna entail? You know what I mean?
I want to know.
It's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I would just love to know, like, mainly the thing is, like, he's probably said this before, but I want to know what drove him to always be in the studio, basically almost 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, how did he always just have so much on his mind that he wanted to put in the music?
While being in the studio the entire time.
Yeah.
So how do you plant those ideas while you spend all your time in the studio?
Yeah.
Like you got to get experiences from something, right?
Yeah, like he's always in the studio. He has such a creative mind, and you know, like even like when you watch like a couple times he's on like radio shows, his freestyles off the dome are just insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
He's
that
the
would,
best, one of them.
Yeah, he is one of the greats, but he could have been so much bigger if he was alive. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Alive.
Who's your alive?
See, that's a good one because there's like so many good ones.
Who would really get you like fanboying over here?
Well, of course.
I know mine.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, he's got his
See.
ready to go.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Eminem because
Eminem, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course I'm picking two rappers. I was honestly kind of tempted to pick Chris Pratt because I love Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, okay.
But
He just had a third kid.
Mhm.
yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's talk about a little bit of
yeah.
Parks and Rec.
I've been
Parks
told
and Rec,
I've been
yeah.
told I look like a chubby version of Chris Pratt, like
Okay.
like early Parks and Rec. Chris Pratt, like when he had like a bit more weight on him. That's what I've been told. But
Sure. Okay, I can see
I
it.
personally
By one
don't
person.
see it.
Bro,
don't
I
see
miss that old Chris Pratt, bro. I miss that old Chris
Oh,
Pratt
yeah.
from that show. He was fucking
He
hilarious,
is
dude.
And then
That whole
yeah,
show's hilarious.
I'd pick Eminem because I've grown up with him. He's the reason why I listen to the music that I do today. You know, I think just talking to him and just talking to him as like a normal human being instead of like, oh my God, it's Eminem, it's Marshall Mathers, it's Slim Shady.
How do you get Eminem to have a good conversation though? I feel like you would have to
I think shoes
to
is definitely
get
one
to,
of the
to
big
get them
ones.
out of the. I'm trying to display all these.
I think you would. Once you get him in the building, you just have to. You have to
You know what I mean? He's
go on an emotional.
He's so reserved and held back that like unless you have good like
Good intentions.
like interview skills to break like it would be more than just being a good interviewer. You would have to like break that barrier and be friends first before he would even like open up to you. Because like I feel like he would be one of those guys that's like just like everything in his life, he's so like closed-minded and closed off because can't even be at his daughter's wedding because he didn't want to take the shine away.
But he's also so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
like,
bro.
Clips of him, he even like modern at him, he's hilarious. I think that's another reason I would love to like just talk to him because he's just such a funny dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you like to interview Eminem now or Eminem in the 90s?
Now, still, I think now because I think early Eminem, like Slim Shady, man was just on pills 24/7. I feel like I don't know.
Interviews are wild, bro.
Yeah, interviews would just be insane. Like I feel like if you were just to sit down with Eminem now, he's just a lot more calm. I feel like he would actually want to talk about like his past experiences with the music. 8 Mile, that's a phenomenal movie. Like I feel like he'd want to talk about that more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I can see too how like actors don't like watching themselves act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you watch a movie, like for you and I,
Yeah, we're live. Yeah.
When we what's going on, bro?
Nothing much.
What'd you guys just go see?
We just saw Smile 2.
Was it good?
It was pretty good.
Nice.
A lot of
No.
jump scares. I'm still kind of tense. My shoulders are kind of...
That's the shit. So they're one of the voices of one of the voices of Smile 2 is the voice of Nancy Drew. So you know Nancy Drew, like the very like soft spoken. She does the growl demon voice in Smile.
Huh.
Her name's Lonnie Manella. She's a big fan of the brand. We're actually we were trying to get her to do our voicemail. So if you call the store and we don't answer, Nancy Drew picks up and says, "Hey, this is Nancy Drew. You're on a clue." Like whatever that shit is. But yeah, she does the demonic voice in that, which she's like this little petite blonde like lady out of Arizona, bro. It's so crazy.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I like the cherry.
Hey, appreciate you, bro.
Just
That's why I got these chairs here is to match Cherry. Right?
That's cool.
Yeah, we were just talking about Pee Wee Herman, man. That's the guy I want to interview if I had the chance.
Yeah?
Yeah, if it, like alive or dead, like definitely definitely Pee Wee, bro.
Oh, man.
Hey, but before you guys get out of here, man, walk up to the 7-Up machine and step on the white X.
Okay.
So we got to get your two.
Yeah.
Who do you want to interview or have a podcast
I think
with?
I know who your alive is.
Yeah, you. I
Give
already
us
got a
your
text.
dead first.
I'll do my dead first. It's going to be Marvel based. I would
Marvel,
do
okay.
Chadwick Boseman.
Oh,
the guy that
that's a
played Black
great
Panther.
one.
We got to interview Denzel Whitaker. He was in Black Panther. He was actually the first guy in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, young Zuri. He was
Okay.
he was on the couch with you where you're at. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah, so one of the
actually really cool.
yeah.
Homie of the brand, bro.
Yeah, he's homie of the brand. Yeah, we printed some stuff for a movie he was in with
Okay.
Matt Rife, and yeah, so he got the podcast with the producer and director of the movie, and
Okay.
so but Denzel Whitaker, played a movie with
Chadwick.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's pretty
That's
amazing.
actually
Yes,
really
that's pretty
cool.
cool. So that's a great answer though, because
Yeah.
I would love to hear about how he navigated knowing he was sick, and yet everyone around him was expecting him to be the star,
Right.
And he's just sick the whole time and knows it's like he's on little
Yeah.
borrowed time at that point.
Yeah, and like even his past movies, like I've watched some of his past movies of like
Appreciate you, bro. We'll see you guys.
Got a cool store here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
but I watched a movie. I think it was 12. I watched it in school. It was during the Civil War. the North was free, the South was slaves. He was taken from the North to the South, and he was a slave for like 12 days. Or it was 12 days a slave. That's what it was.
That's the premise of the movie, bro.
Yeah.
Like they literally lay it out for you where it's like, this is it. That's
Yeah.
fucking. It's so. I laugh because that's so genius, because that's exactly what movies are supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
fucking,
bring it to life. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and like he brought everything to life. Like Black Panther, he brought it to an NBA game for the Lakers and gave somebody the mask and during a dunk contest, which was really really cool.
That is cool. Good on him.
So 12. I've never seen 12 Days a Slave. So that was. I wonder like how close that was to like the Ohio Kentucky border, right? Because that like right here is where it was like,
The Underground Railroad.
yeah, the whole nine. Like,
Did you ever go to the Camp Joy?
no,
Ugh. They did a slave trade thing there, and we had to, like, they put us in the mud and stuff. Dude, that camp, they reenacted the slave thing. They would treat all the students as like they'd hide you under houses, and it was insane. It was a lot.
that's crazy. Did they teach it well? Did they, like was it
They
just
just
like
yelled
this
at you,
is-
dude. No, it was
So they didn't.
they weren't teaching. They were
just
treating you like
like-
a slave. They would like.
I mean, I'm saying
they
like
weren't teaching
like,
anything. They were just
did
yelling
you
at us.
did you learn that like
It was brutal.
this wasn't right? Like,
Yeah, you learned it wasn't right. They
right.
literally, you're like sitting there and like, don't you make eye contact, boy? And you're just sitting there like, get under, and like they would push you under, and and everyone would just sit there, and it was in mud. They told you to wear clothes you didn't want to mess up, whatever. And
That's crazy.
yeah, they did. It was. I don't think they would do that anymore in this day.
No,
Like,
no,
But back
no, they
when,
stopped
when,
that
we
shit.
were, whenever we were younger, it was a whole thing.
It's like I'm just 8, bro. I'm just
Literally, literally, you're like, yeah, it was a memory. I've repressed that one, but
You just brought it up.
What year was that? Like, was that like 8th grade year?
yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I grew up in Chicago my 8th grade year, and they took us out to this place called White Pines Ranch, and they basically took a bunch of kids from like middle city Chicago and brought them out to like a farm, and taught us how to like. We did the Billy Ray Cyrus like line dance, and we fucking learned how to like ride horses and like all this like shit that you shouldn't be teaching somebody from fucking like rural Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like when we were out there, it was the middle. It was during the Michigan when Chris Webber was playing for Michigan.
Oh, with the Fab Five.
The Fab Five,
Oh, yeah.
and so like this is crazy because I was in 8th grade. So I was, how old are you in 8th grade? 12 years old.
13.
12,
13.
13. So we it was a camp, so we all had to be in bed by like 9 p.m. or whatever, and it was all bunks. So there was, the whole school was there. So it was like, I don't know, probably 50 bunk beds, so like 100 beds total. And the one of the counselors that was there with our school,
Yeah.
like super dope, dude. He was like picked just 4 or 5 of the coolest guys from our class and was like, yo, let's go downstairs and watch this game. So like everybody was asleep and like we all fucking crept down and watched the Michigan game on the Jumbotron.
Oh, that's cool.
It wasn't a Jumbotron. It was just a big screen TV with like one of those big backs to it. It was only probably 50 inches at the time.
Yeah,
It
huge
looked
to
big
that, yeah.
screen back then.
Right, yeah.
But it was like one of those things, bro, where it's like 12 years old, everybody's upstairs like asleep, like 95 other of the kids in school are asleep, and you're down here with one of the counselors just watching the Michigan game. And it's
That's
like
fun.
when fucking Weber called that timeout, it's like, what's happening?
You don't have a timeout.
What's happening? Yeah, and counselors like fucking freaking out, trying not to scream because everyone else is asleep, and it's like, what's going on, dude? Like, what happened? Like,
You
we're-
watched that live?
Yeah, bro. 12 years old, I was at White Pines Ranch, and the crazy thing is
God,
because
that's
like
crazy.
during this whole thing, like obviously like being in 8th grade, there's always stories. So like we go to White Pines Ranch, and there's this murder that happened, or like a kid that hit his head on the pool and ended up dying in the pool, and now the whole place is haunted, right? Like that's the story of every 8th grade like field trip. Oh, this place is haunted. But like that, it was creepy as fuck, bro. Like especially going from Chicago, or like, you know, like urban city Chicago doesn't scare me. What scares me is like Beaver Lick, Kentucky, like Big Bone Lick, Kentucky, like that
place is
me.
scary. If you were to go there late at night and you walk around,
scares me.
Yeah, walk around the edge of it, you'll hear people talking.
Bro,
I promise, I've heard
that
it.
place scares me more than Chicago at nighttime. Like, and this was like I was even like a freshman, junior, sophomore, like just like I had a buddy that lived out there, so we would go out there and party, and he had one of those houses that had like open up the door and has a trap vault to a basement cellar that like went out to. Yeah, you might even know him.
That's wild.
What was his brother's name? His brother's still probably older than you are. But anyways, man, it was just like one of those things where it's like, bro, like what the fuck? Like
What the fuck?
I do not want to be in Big Bone Lick at nighttime.
Count me out.
At all.
You don't want to be anywhere near the woods.
I'd
They'll tell you stories about people that like went in there and didn't come out. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm like me, I'm more comfortable in the hood walking around.
sure. Yeah.
Just because like
Just avoid the paranormal because you can't see what's not. You just can't. You
Right.
just don't know. And we don't know what bridges this thing. We don't know anything. We just know that you can feel energy when no one else is in the room for whatever reason. So,
Parallel
but
universes,
parallel
bro.
universes, and space and time, and yeah. But I do want to hear his living though. I want to hear
John
Living?
Teeter. That's the guy I want to interview.
John T. That's a great answer. John Teeter, time traveler. But who is your living? If Chadwick is your dead celebrity,
Hey, Bowtown of the building. Bowie.
yeah,
Bowie runs Jeff Ruby's.
hey,
My living, to fanboy while I'm recording would probably be Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Okay,
Yeah,
his
he's-
commercials are hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's the
He brings his
best.
mom in them too.
Yeah.
And like I feel like me and him have a good like comedy, like a good humor. Like my humor is kind of built off of like Deadpool and like Green Lantern, like his humor that he brings to all of his movies. And so like bouncing humor back and forth would be a good podcast. I feel like.
To talk to him about like why he chose to go into cell phones.
Yeah, or soccer.
And so, yeah,
Because he's making that money.
so much money, and he does his own commercials. He is a funny guy, but I've heard he's a little brutal.
Really?
Yeah, I heard he's a little.
You know, like and I've heard that before too, but I feel like I heard it like 10 years ago when somebody goes, "Oh, he's not funny. He was rude."
Yeah.
Because she was sitting next to Ryan Reynolds on the airplane, and I'm thinking to myself like, I don't want to talk to anybody on the airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and especially like during COVID times, you got masks on. Like, you're not gonna turn to the person and be like, "I'm Ryan Reynolds. How are you?" You know what I mean? So it's just like, and then somebody else said something the other day about him. Martha Stewart said. He's not that funny. I guess they're neighbors or something.
Yeah.
She's like, he's not funny. And Ryan was like, we met one time. And I'm sorry I wasn't a fucking comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I'm a person, dude. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a family man.
I don't have to turn it on. Like, I'm not getting paid to talk, like, to entertain you during this conversation. Like, it blows my mind that people meet somebody one time and goes, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's terrible. Yeah, because
He's not what I expected.
Because he wouldn't entertain me like he does Netflix.
Right.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Did you pay him Netflix money?
Did you pay him Netflix money? Did you pay him, Deadpool money?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
The
the
Disney
Deadpool
Marvel money.
Hey,
Marvel
check-
money.
Look at these hats on. Like, I'm just living
Look
it
at
over
him,
here,
bro.
bro. I'm just living
Just look
it.
at it.
Would you look at it?
Would you
Oh,
look
no.
at
Ed
Would you
Bassmaster.
look-
That's who we need to get on the podcast, bro.
Ed.
Now would you look at that?
Do you know who that is?
I don't remember the person's name on top of my head.
He's a friend of mine, man. Ed Bassmaster. So he's got a bunch of different characters that he does, and he did that one like he was popular where he's like, "Would you look at that? Like, look at that scratch.
Now, would you look at that?
Would you look at that?" Yeah, he's got like 3 or 4 different characters, bro. But he was just in here like a month ago, and we're gonna bring him back in for a podcast because the dude's just hilarious, man.
So funny. I didn't even know who I was talking to until and then I got to talk to him again after I knew, and I was like, "Whoa, man!" Like,
Yeah, I texted you like, "Yo, Ed was just in
do
there."
you know
like,
who that was? And I was like, "What?" They were so not the twins. They were so nonchalant. Like there was, like sometimes you just kind of like give an idea of like
Let me know he's huge, bro.
like that's like
hey, this is Ed. You're like, "What's up, Ed? Good to meet you."
Yeah, like they were just like, "You met him?" I was like, and I shook his hand, whatever, and they're like, okay, we stop by later. I'm
He
like,
wasn't.
okay.
He wasn't dressed in one of his outfits.
He wasn't dressed anything eccentric. He wasn't stand out. He was just hanging out with the boys, and they introduced him to me, and I was talking to another person, and before you know it, they left, and then Jay's like, "Do you know who that was?" I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. It was so nonchalant. I didn't know who he was talking about, and then he was like, "That's Ed Bassmaster," and I'm like, "What? Really? Like, just look at it, guy."
The original viral dude.
Then they came walking toward the bathroom up here, and I ran out there to talk to him, and I said, "Hey, what's up again?" And like reintroduced myself, I guess you could say, but like they were so nonchalant. You would have thought it was just homie that you grew up with. It or it was like no big deal, but gotta just give me a clue. You know what I mean? Like they're not in their entertainment phase, just like Ryan Reynolds isn't on entertainment phase on the plane. You don't even know, but yeah, he's a really funny guy, and I hope he gets on the podcast. He's definitely one I want to interview.
For sure.
Yeah, earlier you guys were talking about, you guys like quickly talked about paranormal stuff. We talked about paranormal stuff, but I feel like that'd be going on a little too long. But him and I were literally looking at each other like,
Yeah.
We love paranormal stuff. We love stuff we don't understand.
Everybody does, bro.
Oh,
Especially when they can't sleep. If they can't sleep, they're gonna be up at night listening to what you gotta say, bro.
I love paranormal stuff. So, maybe another time.
Maybe
Man,
another time, yeah.
hey,
We'd
maybe
love
we
to.
need to do one together, bro.
That's what I'm
Let's
saying.
do one.
Good.
Let's do it.
Ghost Adventure, let's go.
I used to explore. I used to put myself out there in a lot of different places to where I thought for a long time, and I still kind of think it, that things follow you home.
Oh, absolutely.
And I had experienced it, and I don't know if it followed me home or I was just a beacon of some degree, but dude, I've had things knock on doors I was on the other side of when other people in the room with me, so I wasn't even the only one to hear the knocking, and and I've seen doors open. Just stuff has happened, and I am definitely a witness.
Yeah.
I've been scratched.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I will just end off for now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a horrifying day. That's all I will say.
Yeah, he texted
Scratched
me.
by the air.
Yeah, scratched by something.
Yeah, it wasn't walking bean.
Yeah, no, it was horrifying. But
That is horrifying. But yeah. But on that note, boys, we appreciate you being on the podcast,
you.
man.
we appreciate you guys inviting us.
Yeah,
we were
this
just
is
coming
awesome.
down here, coming down and talking. You guys were just like, want to do it? And we're like, all right, sure.
Yeah, and you have your own, so this is a
Yeah.
good time
Yeah.
to kind of promote that. What is your podcast called again, and where they can find you?
It is called the Bro-Hemians podcast. Right now, it's just on YouTube.
Okay.
But you can
How do you
find
spell
our-
it? Give them the spelling.
BRO-HEMIANS.
Is it dash?
I'm glad he can do it. I literally have to look at the logo still. I made it, and I have to look at the logo. It's so
That's
bad.
great.
But yeah, you can also find our TikTok and Instagram accounts.
Yep.
There you
so-
go.
Yeah, so we got some content on there, and when's the next drop? When are you guys going to drop?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, cool.
This last episode that we filmed yesterday is going to be edited and put together tonight, and I'm going to drop it tomorrow.
Cool.
Let's go.
And how long are usually your episodes?
So we started out pretty long, but we started to shorten them recently. So this one's about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's
Perfect.
about like what ours are normally are.
With
Like,
the
this has been
promo.
going on for.
You just did 3 hours and about 30 minutes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy for. And honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, it has not felt like I've been in a podcast.
No.
It just felt like I've been talking with the guys.
Yeah.
Right? That's the
what I
best
love
part,
about
man.
podcasts,
That's the best
yeah.
part. That's what we love about it. That's why we do want to do small, more condensed podcasts, but
Yeah.
our format right now really allows for a lot of different content to come out. And,
Oh, yeah.
you'll say something in the 2 hour time block that you wouldn't say in 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah,
Right, for sure.
absolutely.
And we're going to get stuff out of people that you wouldn't say, even in an hour and a half. At 3 hours, people have once they have a few drinks in them too, like they're gonna spill the beans, and we're here to collect up beans.
We got to come back here when I turn 21. I think that'll be
I'll come
another
back here
podcast. Yeah, when I
later.
turn 21.
All right,
almost
later.
having a couple drinks in, and then really get
Bar
going.
right down the street I'll go to right now.
Absolutely.
Let's do it, bro.
Go right over to Brothers. Go right over
Yeah.
to Par 3.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Levy life. But yeah, we appreciate you guys.
All right, man. Well, I think this is going to wrap up another episode of the PowWow. So check these out. So we got these available, all custom. Everything in here is all done, handmade, straight for the brand. We've got Kentucky hats. We've got 513 hats. We got Bengals hats dropping on Thursday. And then we've got Louisville, Indianapolis, Indiana, Chicago. Columbus, and then we've got a Dare hat coming with this one as well.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, the Dare one. So every one of them is limited to 50. So there's only 50 of each, and then we're going to move on to the next colorway. So pop down here if you want to get a hold of one. As soon as they come in stock, we'll put them on thenativebrand.com as well, so you can check those out. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the PowWow. So appreciate what was the name of the podcast? The Bro-Hemians podcast. The Bro-Hemians
With a dash.
podcast. Mason's back in the building. What's going on, Mason?
Clean.
Bro, it's 11 o'clock, man. You need to get that homework done,
All
player.
right, bro. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you all. And we really appreciate you guys bringing your insight. And we'd love to have gotten Juice World. That would have been.
Yeah.
That would have been a phenomenal one.
Right.
Man.
Next week, we got Pee Wee Herman. Let's go. All right. Everybody, we appreciate you. We'll see you next week. It's your boy, Jay Banks.
AI.
Let's go.
Appreciate
Later.
you. Later. Bye.